Hello, everybody. How are you doing? How's it going today? Hope you are good. I've just realized something I have forgotten to do. Oh, the Instagram link. 1 second. Bear with me just a moment. Of course, I've forgotten. Of course. Oh my God. Give me just a second. I hope everyone's good. Please, as you're coming in, make sure you like the live. That would be amazing. Well, I'll just set this up. That's going to be public and that's going to be da, 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 da. There's so much to do. We've got a lot to talk about today. Oh my God. I feel like it's it. Well, I'll see how we do for time, but it might be a long show today. Wait, is it there? Da, 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 da. Let's see. I would like it to be no, it's not there yet. But anyway, okay, guys, thank you. Oh, thanks, Weeping. Appreciate that. For those that don't know, I'm all things sugar and Sade. Hey, and this is the live debrief. This is where we recap and talk about reality and TV shows and that type of thing with a healthy dose of side eye too. Do you know what I mean? Guys, as I said, please make sure that you like this video as you come in. It's just me today. Unfortunately, Abis can't be with us today. It's half term. So maybe a couple of weeks or something. We'll see how that goes and everything like that. But yeah, it's Good Friday today. It's Good Friday today. I'm hoping everyone's having a good day off. If you are having a day off, oh, have I frozen? I hope not. I hope not. Is anyone doing anything nice for the bank holiday and stuff? I hope you are. As always, as I said, like the video, get involved in the chat, get involved in the conversation, subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed, please. And also, if you see the new hype stuff, please use it to hype my videos. I don't know if you can hype lives. I think Sap was telling me you can't hype lives, but if you can hype some other things, that would be great. Do you know what I mean? I would really appreciate it because, you know, us small creators, man, seriously, we need all the help we can get, please. And also as well, just a reminder that you can now listen and watch on Spotify and listen on Apple, as well as Amazon Music too, and some other platforms too. So we are all around the place. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, share with like-minded people too. Really appreciate that. So yeah, we've got a lot to talk about today. We are talking about Whitney Adebayo being on the Wunmi Bello show. We're talking about Bella Hassan being on Great Company, and we're also going to hopefully talk about Shah as well, her first interview since she's been released. Thank you so much. Hi on Instagram as well. How you doing? But are you not watching the Summer House and the Scandal? I've been seeing it, but no, I'm not watching it. But I am Team Sierra as well. I'll get that out of the way. Hey, everybody who is in the chat today. Hey, Wavin. Hey, Gilda. Hey, Lady Lyrics. How you doing? Hey, Sora. Hey, Keisha. Thank you so much, Keisha. It's giving me inspo. So I will even just segue quickly into that because my moment of joy this week is my hair. It is actually my hair. I done this myself. I'm really, really proud of myself because I haven't done my own hair in a long time. Seriously, not like this anyway. So like not plaiting, because I used to braid and plait my hair when I was younger. I used to do it on a weekly basis. I swear to God, but like I've just lost the will to do it. And I always go to the hairdressers, or I don't wear styles where I need like a lot of braids and stuff like that. But I decided to do myself. This is Miracle Braids. And honestly, believe the hype, because this is a great hairstyle. It's so light. I got my hair from Icy hair, I believe. This is like the wavy 14 inches, deep wave. It's deep wave, yeah, deep wave, 14 inches. And I only got 3 packs. My head is a little bit small. If I was doing it again, I would get more packs, basic, because I had to do cane rolls in the back, and it's Miracle Braids at the front. Does that make sense? So they're like more single ones. Let me show you real quick so you can see my hair is here. Can you see my hair? you see my hair here? Probably, maybe. Let's see. My hair's there in the middle, and then I've got like the strands on top, kind of thing. So yeah, it's just so lightweight. It'll be in my vlog, not this week, the week after probably. And I might do a little video on it as well. But yeah, I think this might be the way to go. I might be doing multiple styles like this, seriously. I swear to God, because yeah, you're just doing single plaits and then crocheting it through. It's just so easy. Thank you so much, Jai. I appreciate that. Thank you, Sora. Yeah, it's not for the week, but it's just so easy. Just watch one tutorial. I think you'll be good. My only issue is that my partner's in the back. But no, we don't need to worry about that. We don't need to worry about that. Well, the parties in the back are not great. They're not great. They're not great. But yeah, we could just ignore that for now. But like, if I was going to the hairdressers, I would just get them to do the braid part, and then I'll crochet the rest myself. Because it's just so easy, and then overall, it's just like it's a cheat code. Hey, oh, you popped over, Crispy. Can I make them? It's miracle braids. That's what they call them, miracle braids. I will do a video. Will I do a standalone video? I'll probably do maybe like a standalone reel. I will do. But yeah, that's coming soon. So this is my joy at the moment, because I was just like this is too easy. So yeah, and this is only 14 inches because I didn't want to do too much. But I think moving forward, I will. I'm gonna get the long ones. I'm gonna get the long ones, seriously. Jai is saying it's a different type of feeling when you do your own hair. It looks good. Outfit, and it looks good. Thank you. Yes, it does. Seriously, it does make you feel like, oh, I can do anything. Do you know what I mean? And then especially the amount of money that you're saving as well. Do you know what I mean? And also, the time it took me maybe 4.5 hours, maybe 5 hours, and I was doing stuff as well in between. So it's very, 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 very quick, and you don't have to do it as small as mine are either. Do you know what I mean? So yeah. I will drop the deets in the Discord. Yes. So guys, yeah, for sure. If you want to be part of the Discord, please, you can if you want to. Let me just find the link 1 second. You need to become a member, and in order to become a member, you just need to click this little link here, and once you're a member, the link to the Discord is in a members only post. If you don't find it, then just message me on Instagram and I will send you the link. But yeah, if you want to know my thoughts and feelings on things in the moment, that is where, and everybody else having their own conversation, because you guys are talking about maths. Australia, I'm not watching it, but I'm getting live from you guys. As I was saying yesterday, I'm honestly getting live from you guys talking about it. So I feel like I'm watching the show because you guys are talking about it. It's great. So yeah, appreciate it. Seriously. So yeah, it's just me today. So there's a lot to talk about. So if I get a bit mixed up, just bear with me because there's a lot. First of all, also I should say another moment of joy is next week Friday is my birthday, you know. It's my birthday. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm probably gonna have a chilled one. Maybe get a massage, maybe do, I don't know, like, oh hey Kimberly. Maybe do a, I don't know, little gathering or something, a little dinner or something. I don't know. I just want to sleep. That's what I really do want to do. But between work and editing, there's just been a lot going on at the moment. But yeah, it's just 1 week to my own personal new year. So I'm looking forward to that. So that is another moment of like pending, let's call it pending joy. Do you know what I mean? So it's Aries season. Not that I'm super into star signs, but you know, I'll take it. If there's a little bit of goodness coming my way, then I'll take it. Do you know what I mean? Crispy saying a little spa day, good food and drinks. Yeah, that sounds like it, you know. I just gotta book something. That's what I have to do. And I just can't be bothered to look. I just take forever choosing what I want to do. So yeah. And I used to be, back in the day, I used to be so obsessed with my birthday. Like, it was such a big deal to me, and I would have like 3-day events. So we'd make might go to a club, and love club, might go. I remember one time we done like I think we done like 2 nights of clubbing. We went paintballing, we had a dinner. It was a lot. Yeah. But as I've got older, like even outside participation has gone down. I'm just like, I'm kind of chilled, you know. Seriously. So I've kind of grown out of that, it seems. What am I side-eyeing this week? Also, guys, tell me what your moment of joy is this week too. Let's keep the good news coming, the good feelings, the good vibes as well. But yeah, what are you side-eyeing to? Let me know. Keisha said, oh, lovely. Solo cinema trips are always nice to splash out on VIP. Keisha, that's not a bad shout, you know. That is not a bad shout because I do. That's one of the things, because I don't like going to a lot of places by myself, but that is one of the things that I've managed to do by myself, like wholeheartedly. Like I don't feel any type of way. I don't feel conscious or anything. So yeah, that's a good shout. I didn't think about that. And I've actually got a really nice cinema near me as well. Oh, Maya, thank you so much. Appreciate it. This top, Jai, that you mentioned, Guided by My Ancestors, is actually available on the merch site. Welcome to Sadenians. The link is in the bio if you want to check that out too. And there's some other bits in there too. I need to go back and tweak some stuff, but there's lots in there. Crispy said, my moment of joy was the sun and being able to sit outside and soak in the sun and get a little glow. Oh, I love that. Seriously, it's looking great today. It's looking great today. So yeah, let's get the sunshine back, please, guys. The weather guys, what's happening out there? Keisha saying, yeah, the drama with Zendaya looks good. Yeah, that does look good actually. I want to see that too. I do want to see that. So what am I side-eyeing? This week I am side-eyeing 2 things. Well, there's many things that I'm side-eyeing, but because the world is in a state of disarray, there's a lot of horrible things going on in the world at the moment. So take this show as your little piece of escapism. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think it's healthy to not be bombarded with all the horrible things that are going on in the world at the moment. But one thing on top of that, one thing I am side-eyeing is, or one person I am side-eyeing is Chili from TLC. I am really side-eyeing her at the moment. I really am, because if you didn't know, Chili was caught out. She was caught out as being a donor to some campaigns that were in relation to or supporting Trump. Let me even bring them up because I found an article about it. So the Federal Election Commission, this is according to The Hill, says that records show Chili, whose legal name is Rosonda Thomas, given $210.60 to Win Red, a Republican campaign organization. She gave £340.60 to the Trump National Committee, JFC, and 486. Oh, am I saying pounds? I meant dollars, if I'm not saying that. 54 to the Never Surrender Inc., which also has links to Trump, according to The Independent. And I was just like, say it ain't so. Say it ain't so. Not Chili. Like, I couldn't believe it. Like, hold on, let me pause that. I was just like, there ain't no way. This can't be right. Like, someone's pulling my leg, you know. And then I saw her kind of apology. So she posted this. Let me read this out on her page. And she done a bit of a video as well. So she posted this. She said, I want to be clear. I am not MAGA. I do not support any of the many policies that are causing great harm to the American people. I made a mistake too many too many make. I did not read the fine print. I thought I was supporting causes against human trafficking and for veterans, two things I care deeply about as my dad is a veteran and everybody knows I love children. I've learned a valuable lesson and asked for grace as I navigate this. Love, Chili. And then she also scrolls post to a video, which I'll just play real quick. Oh, let's do this.
Let me say this first. I have the utmost respect and admiration for Michelle Obama, and I would never say or do anything that is disrespectful.
Let me just clarify. So for this was referring to, so apparently she reposted a video that said something negative to Michelle Obama. I can't remember exactly. I don't know if it was a particularly racist, but it was negative about Michelle. So she is claiming that, she didn't, that she's not great with technology and she, must have pressed the wrong button, essentially. So this is her apologizing for that.
To her or to any woman, I would never do that. And I had no clue that this repost had happened until I started getting phone calls and text messages from everybody. And I immediately went to my page to see what was going on. Now, mind you, I'm not very computer savvy, so I'm looking for this repost button. And I see that all of these buttons are very, very close to each other. And clearly I was scrolling and my thumb hit the repost button. Again, I had no clue that something like this happened until I got all the calls. But of course, hey guys,
so yeah, that's what she posted on her page. And I was just like, I'm still side-eyeing you. I'm not sure, because also as well, it seems like she's doing deep damage control, because she is currently going on a tour soon. I think they announced their tour that they're going on. It's iconic tour. That's with Salt and Pepper. It's with En Vogue as well. And of course, TLC too. So it's just like, you're messing up ticket sales because your fan base is primarily Black women who are my age, right? And then it just turned out that, unfortunately for Chili, she must have had a bad week for her point of view, because there was a clip circulating from many years ago, it looks like, where T-Boz had, let me share this instead, done some sort of interview basically saying that her bandmate has voted for Trump in the past, in 2016 elections. So wow, Chili. If that's true, I was just like, wow. Anyway, let me play the clip.
Here's my thing is I've been telling you guys that when you say Obama got two, that don't mean nothing anymore, because the voters are as dumb as they've ever been.
Yeah.
You guys are about to nominate the biggest jackass in the history of politics. Straight up, period.
You're really gonna win.
This is an all hip hop exclusive.
My group member voted for him.
Well, here's my thing is I've been telling you guys that.
So she's saying my group member voted for him, and then not to be like crass or anything like that, but obviously their other group member, Left Eye, has passed away. So, she could only be talking about Chili. So, Chili, what are you doing? Like, what's going on? I was just like, oh, you can't like anybody. You really can't like anybody at all. And it just saddens me. Like, I used to love TLC, man. I really did. Like, I felt like I grew up with them. Do you know what I mean? So it was not that I bought tickets or anything like that, but if they came to London, I would have liked to have gone. But now I'm just like, not really, not so much. Not really on it, So that's number one, who I'm side-eyeing. And then number two, who I'm side-eyeing is, what's his name? More than side-eyeing as well. More than side-eyeing. I don't even know what to call this, but trigger warning with this one. But Wayner, is that how you say his name? Wayner? I can't remember. Wayner Morris from Boyz II Men. Him. So Brandy's memoir Phases just dropped, and I think I mentioned this ages ago that I definitely want to read this. I need to get it on audiobook as soon as possible. So that has just dropped, and there has been some deeply disturbing claims that she's making in the book, which I, for one, believe her. I remember this at the time being a bit of a scandal, and it's so interesting now that this is considered kind of history. And I remember at the time, like, why is she dating this guy? This is weird. But let me find what she said. So this is an expert for I can't speak. You know, guys, you know I can't speak. Excerpt from her book, Phases. Okay, so it says, the shame ends here, the silence ends here. For years, I struggled with how I was treated in this relationship. He saw a 15-year-old girl with rising fame and admiration for his talent. So they dated back in the day, right? And I believe he deliberately took advantage. This was a 22-year-old man who I believe knew exactly what he was doing when he pursued an underage girl. Looking back, it seems like he chose the moment carefully, reaching out to me when I was young, newly successful, and vulnerable to the attention of someone I idolized. At the time, it felt like a fairy tale. Now I see it as the beginning of a calculated courtship of a teenage girl by a grown man who knew exactly the effect his attention would have. I've grown more resentful at his insistence on reframing that time, his continuous attempts to rewrite history with himself as the misunderstood romantic lead rather than the adult man he was. I've struggled not just with fame, I've struggled with the shame. Sorry, I can't speak. Oh my gosh. I have struggled not just with the shame I hold like a stone in my chest, but the extent to which I've been left to hold it alone. I have taken responsibility for my feelings, for disrespecting my parents' wishes and getting involved in an older man despite their concerns. But the shame wasn't the only reason for my silence all these years. Consideration was for myself, my daughter, my family, for him, his family, for the complicated web of relationships and reputations that would be affected by the truth. I hope from here on out, I would receive the same considerations from him. I was not a fast girl with a crush. I was not a dramatic teenager who couldn't handle rejection. I was not an unstable, obsessive fan. I was a child, he was an adult, and it's time the world understood the difference. It, like, hearing that, reading, I was just like, oh my God, this is great. This is wild. This is absolutely wild. But obviously at the time, so he basically was, he's kind of several times basically said, oh, we was in love. It was like a, you know, it was a thing. He's kind of downplayed it for what it was. Yeah, I can't wait to read it either. But unfortunately for him, unfortunately for us, I guess, there is a clip that's circulating when he was on The Breakfast Club many years ago. So let me find that clip real quick. Where did I put it? Here. And I'm going to say trigger warning again because these are grown men talking, right? Do you know what I mean? So, okay, this is it. Hold on 1 second.
You broke your heart. There, no, I didn't actually leave it.
He was teaching Ray J how to do videos.
So if you didn't catch that, one of them said he was teaching Ray J how to do the video. So we know that Ray J is famous for, well, he got to some level of fame for the sex tape that he done with Kim Kardashian. So can you imagine, this is what they're talking about. They're talking about Wayner. How do you say his name? Wayner. We're talking about Wayner, who was seeing Brandy when Brandy said she was 15, yeah, and they're joking about it, saying that he taught that Wayne, this guy, this 22-year-old guy who was seeing this girl when she was 15, taught Ray J, who was even younger, how to do video. That's the joke. That's what they're laughing at. Okay. Let's continue.
You told Ray J how to do the sex.
They were saying she was really young when y'all dated.
Yeah, she was. Not that young. Because I don't want y'all to think Boys to Men was young. No.
She said she was young. I was young too.
She said she was 15 and she had to keep it a secret because she was so young.
See, we did the thing. We did the thing when she was like 16, 17, around that time, you know.
You was so you were still a boy too. You had
I wasn't old. I wasn't
yet.
like 38 years old, nothing like that. I was old enough to she was old enough to get it.
She was old enough to get it. This wow.
But was it legal in the state y'all was in?
I mean, we was always in different states.
But then that's Charlemagne asking, was it legal in the state that you was in?
Wanye was banging Brandy.
Wanye, is that how they say it? Wanye. Okay, cool. Crazy scenes, absolutely crazy scenes for me. And this is the thing which I always try and tell people is that whatever you say on the internet will last forever. So yeah, someone's gonna always find that. Do you know what I mean? And they find a quick, oh hey Abis, how you doing? Are you good? Are you good? Are you good? Are you good? Abis, let me know if you I don't know if she's gonna say that. But hey, you're welcome to join if you want. Hi. So yeah, it's disgusting. It's disgusting. It's gross. This kind of predatory behavior, and it will always be gross. It has always been. Let me say that again. This type of predatory behavior has always been and will always be gross. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, this is, and it's crazy that we are still dealing with this type of behavior as well, where these predatory men go after these young girls, and it doesn't even matter what kind of level of status or power or fame you have. You're not safe from them. You're not safe from them at all. But I'm glad that she's spoken up. I can't wait to read the book. That will probably be the next. Actually, no, I'm reading something at the moment, but it's on the list to read it as soon as possible. This is the thing, Crispy. Crispy says we are literally being ruled by PDFs. Yeah, that's what it feels like. That's what it feels like. God. Hey. Baby saying it's not a good year for millennials. All these 90s artists just keep embarrassing us. I mean, honestly, it's a lot. Wait, is that I can't remember your handle. Is that Erin? Maybe that's Erin. I'm not too sure. Hey Erin, if it's you. Keisha said, why is this behavior so rife in the entertainment industry, or is it just rife in general, but we are not exposed to it? If so, men make it hard to want to carry on the population. I mean, girl, that last statement, I think it's rife in general, and I think it's rife. It's just interesting. I just feel like the Western world, I'm not saying it doesn't happen other places. It absolutely does, for sure. But the way that even our whole society is like set up, like, because the conviction rate, I talk about this a lot, like, even if you kind of report these things, or take these things to court, the conviction rate is so low. The punishment is not like, it's a weak amount of years. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's just so hard. It's so hard to kind of punish these men. Like, it really, really, really is. It's just, I just think that some industries, well, actually, no, like, it's, what am I trying to say? I think it's more in plain sight, in some industries. I think in the entertainment industry, sometimes it's like in the overly sexualization of young girls, like even we see like the whole backlash with like the Tyler Usher incident, right? So we had Usher on stage singing. Tyler was there. There was lots of people there, to be fair. And people were getting onto her because she didn't want to dance with him or she didn't dance with him, right? Kind of thing. And I'm just like, he's old enough to be her dad. Like, what the hell? What are you mad at here? Like, it just doesn't make sense. That is like quite a light example, but like, even from then, like, it's crazy. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's just on every layer. When you look at some of these kid shows and like what they had some of these kids doing, it's crazy. It's just weird. It's weird behavior. Oh, hey, Erin. She says it is. Hey, Erin, come to YouTube. Or you not? Or you can't. Let me get some of these comments. So it said, in general, we are lucky we don't. In general, like, we are lucky we get to expose the public ones. But when I step outside, I look at people differently. Yeah, same. Waving says it's rife in general, but the music, film, and modeling, etc. industries have a power dynamic that enables the wrong types to abuse others. Yep. Crispy saying grape and SA, child trafficking, etc. The punishment is a joke for a reason. Exactly. It's like the system is almost protecting them. Let me get my glasses because I am struggling. It's not even like I need to see, but the light from the screen. Let me do this. Maybe that'll be better. That will help me a little bit better. So it says, not gonna lie, especially old white men and like shown. Say that again, Sora. Like shown young troubled guys between 20 and 25. Okay, Crispy says, because let me tell you, I've been downloading and reading those files from the US government site, and it's filled with politicians, Ivy League professors, etc. Bro, I would be scared. I'll be actually scared. Crispy said, talking insane essay shit about oh my god. Oh, I don't even want to touch those files. I honestly. Thank you, Abis. Yeah, it did. I'm so happy. Hey, Erin. Hey, Erin. The people at sorry, I get you. Sorry, Sora. Just blame my dyslexic brain. Okay, especially old white men. Okay, cool. And young troubled guys between 20 and 25. Yeah, honestly, like it's like you, not like you have to, but like I'm suspicious. I'm suspicious that everybody right now, like I feel like I'm suspicious of everybody at the moment because people are mad and it's just so much more common than you think. Like it really, really is. And it's just normalized that you just don't, like people either don't talk about it, the victims that is, they don't talk about it, or yeah, they just don't talk about it. Because when they do, it's not even just like men coming at them, it's women as well, kind of thing. And just like question, it's just awful. It's just absolutely awful. Yeah, it's dark. It really is. This is why you can never idolize anyone, to Keisha. Absolutely. This is it. And it's so, again, I feel like it's almost like we're set up for failure in that sense, because like that is like our whole kind of system is to idolize people. It's always set up that way. It's just like the celebrity culture and everything. It's just crazy. It's so annoying. Crispy said, is this to do with the files? Crispy said, I know it's dark, but we must face certain realities and wake up and start protecting children, all of us. Yeah. No, I hear you. I do hear you. I just don't have the shrimp at the moment. I can't lie. Erin says it's crazy that these men now have daughters and will want to fight someone someday over their daughter. Exactly. Met Marty, turned out to be, might have to look that up. Keisha said, did anyone see that guy who proposed to Keke Palmer while she was doing her podcast on stage? That freaked me out for some reason. I mean, rightly so, because that's what, like, you're at work. Yeah, you're at work, and this guy comes to the front. Where is security, first of all? Yeah, where is security? Comes to the front and then proposes. No. That is scary because you just don't know what the next intention is going to be, because you could say, you know, you just don't know what the intentions are. You just don't know what they're going to do, because in what world is that okay? What, it's not okay. It's not okay. Where do you think that's going to go? Like, it's such a, I want to choose my words here, but it's just like the thought process that man must have if he's okay in his mind that I'm going to do this thing and get to Kiki and propose, right? That's his thought process. And she's going to look at me favorably, like, or she's just going to be taken by some sort of emotion and look at you and say yes, like, no. So that tells me, by your very action, you can't be in your right mind. You can't be in your right mind if you're going to go that, if you're going to do that at all. So if you're not in your right mind, what's the limitations of your thought process? This was step one. Then what? That's what's. Do you know what I mean? I can't. No. He got way too close, and if I was Kiki, she handled it well. She handled it well, but like I do think it's someone in the organization failed her, because that should never happen. It should never happen. That should never ever happen at all. Like, I feel like she was failed in that moment, because because apparently people had noticed them, and I think there was some of the attendees had noticed and pointed out that he was acting strangely, and he managed to get to that position. So someone wasn't listening or didn't act when they were told. Yeah. Oh, he was saying she wants to say yes. Exactly. Crazy. Guild is saying security failed her. I think it's, I think security, venue, event staff, like, do you know what I mean? Host, like, there's a lot. there's many people. There's many people. And also as well, it's just like not taking, like, when someone flags to you, this person is acting odd, like sometimes you can take a beat and say like, okay, is there some sort of prejudice here, blah, blah, blah. But it's always better to be safe than sorry. You know, you can keep an eye on the situation, you know? Yeah, I don't like it. I really, really don't like it. Well, those are my side eyes actually. This week we can add that one in as well. Sorry, I didn't see if anybody else had a side eye for this week. Let me know in the comments if you do. Let me just 1 second. So then we're going to go on to the main event. I didn't get much sleep last night, so I'm a bit all over the place. Where the hell is my other tab? Oh God, everything is all over the place. I'm going to do this and just see 1 second. 1 second. There we are. Okay, cool. Crispy said, my side eye is Scamanda. So, Crispy. So this is referring to some, what is it called? Summer House? House of Summer? Summer House? I think. Which I don't watch. It's a Bravo show. I don't watch it, but I've been seeing all about this, where basically this girl who is this black girl called Sierra, Summer House, thank you, black girl called Sierra. She is, she's on this show. She's one of the few black people on the show. She was best friends with this girl called Amanda, who was married to someone else at some point. And Sierra was seeing this guy called Wes. She was really like, tell me if I'm going in the right direction as well, Crispy, because this is what I've learned from TikTok. She was really like cautious about dating. She wanted something serious and everything like that. I think he was pretending, or like he was like, yeah, I want something serious too. I want to really be with you and everything like that. As soon as he gets it, then he kind of duns the relationship. She's like super, super hurt. I think there's one season where they're kind of flirting back and forth with each other, but nothing really happened with them. And he at one point says to her, like, or says about her that she is his nighttime crush. So meaning that, you know, I don't want to date you, but if you want to smash, we can smash, that type of situation. Or if he wants to smash, he will smash. Being very disrespectful, basically, kind of thing. Poor Sierra, she was obviously upset and heartbroken. And is obviously confiding to her friend. Her friend now gets a divorce because things aren't going well between her relationship. I think her husband was doing some crazy things. And her friend, and this is kind of like her bestie, her friend then starts dating the guy that she was seeing behind her back. And it's terrible. It's so it's horrible. And apparently they've announced it, but they were caught. There was some sort of video of them getting it on earlier. So, okay, Amanda is her bestie for 6 years. Imagine. So the guy, you've broken out of your relationship and now you are seeing my ex that done me dirty. You are now seeing my ex. You hated me the whole time. Just say that you hate me. Just tell me that you hate me, because what the hell? What the actual hell? I was just like, this is wild. Now, I don't have time to watch Summer House, but I was watching the videos. And the thing is that it's so interesting because it's not even, it's so predictable, because there are so many people just like, what's the big deal? Like, she's not even thinking, like, what's the big deal? Like, huh? And those people tend not to be black. Do you know what I mean? And it's just like, come on. It's bad. It's bad. It's bad. It's bad. Sorry. So it says, like Jessie Wu said, they be fucking since the season that is airing right now. So for sure. They it's just cold. It's cold and it's evil and it's horrible. Hey Seven, how you doing? Yeah, it's just evil. It's mean. It's just really mean. It's mean girl behavior. He's an asshole anyway. Do you know what I mean? Not all of it needs to go to her, but that's your friend. It hurts. It's a special kind of hurt when your friend does you dirty, man. It really is. It really, really, really is. So who's Rihanna? I don't know who Rihanna is. So now Rihanna got involved. So first Rihanna unfollowed Scamander and is now hooking Kiara with an A-lister. Rumors are it's Michael B. Jordan. Oh, really? Well, let's go. I'm here for that storyline. I'm here for that storyline. Seriously. I don't watch it. What do you mean? Sorry, do you mean Rihanna? Seriously? Or is this a character in the show? Sorry, I'm confused. If it's Rihanna, then of course, yes. Is it actually Rihanna? Oh, okay. Oh, that is cool. That is cool. Wait, I'm so confused. What? Sorry, guys. Can someone just clarify me in a clear sentence? Who are we talking about? Rihanna? I'm so dyslexic. Oh my God. Rihanna made it a point to unfollow Amanda. Okay, got it. Riri is a huge Bravo fan and unfollows a lot of casts. Okay, Rihanna is singer. Okay, got it. Yes. Okay, cool. That is super cool. If she's done that, that is super cool. If she hooks it up with Michael B. Jordan, that is a story I want to watch. I want to see that unfolds, and I might watch the next season. Seriously. That is amazing. Oh my god. Oh, I love this. I love it when the worlds cross over. I love it. Okay, guys. Any more? Sorry, let me just see if there's any more side eyes. I think I saw that. Erin says my side eye is mainly on the world. Well, yeah. Wavy said I side-eyed Trump, but it's higher up. Oh, what was that about? Let me see. So, oh, was that what I think I saw that briefly when you saying he compared himself to Jesus or something. Yeah, definitely side-eye now. That's crazy. People are mad. Okay, cool. All right, guys, let's talk Whitney on the Wunmi Bello show. Who watched it? Did you watch it? What were your first thoughts about it? Yeah, let me know if you did and what your thoughts are, or if you even watched the clips as well. Let me know. I watched it. I thought overall it was a really, really, really good interview. I really like Wunmi Bello. I've been, you know, I'd say like a far supporter for many years. I really like what she does. I like her style. I like the way she comes across. I like her phrasings of things. I thought she's really, really, really good. She's definitely about this. She's definitely been honing her craft, and I think she's able to create a sense of intimacy and safety in the interviews that she does. But yeah, she's really, she is stunning too as well. And I believe she's got a really interesting story too. Yeah, I just like the whole setup. I liked everything about it. It just looked great, felt great, didn't feel like it was being sensationalized or anything like that. I thought it was really, really, really good. And I think it just showed a different, for the let me say this, for the untrained eye, I think it showed a different side of Whitney, for sure, and allowed her to let her guard down a little bit, you know. Maya said I watched the whole thing. People put 20 on 10 as per usual. Exact. I mean, yeah, you guys know, you guys already know, yeah, I am a Whitney supporter. So if you're watching this thinking that I'm gonna jump on the hate train of Whitney, like be prepared to be disappointed. I'm absolutely not. Like I really am. I'm going to say I'm actually quite disturbed by the amount of hate that Whitney is getting at the moment. Like, it just is like, it's overwhelming. And it's not even, I'm not even the person, like, do you know what I mean? But the amount of things that I'm seeing in like comments and stuff, like, it's just insane. Like, people calling her out of her name. Like, I saw people calling her a witch, saying that she's mean-spirited, she's this, she's that, she did that. Like, whoa, like, really? It's a lot. And I think people do need to just touch grass. Like, just take a minute. If you have that much vitriol for someone that you don't know, you really need to chill for a bit. I think you really do need to chill for a bit, because you don't know these people. I just think it's a lot for what she's apparently done. Like, I think it's disproportionate, and it's always disproportionate. I think that is ultimately what gets to me, is that it's always disproportionate to what she's done. Like, I just don't, or what, supposedly what she's done. Like, I just don't, I will never fully understand that. And through the context of that, she is like a Black woman living her life, just being herself. Like, I'm just like, seriously, guys, is this what we're really doing? Like, I can't even say we, because I'm not doing that. And then I feel like as well, on the flip side, it is like, I would never, like, as much as I don't like some of the characters on these shows, I'm never going to their page and writing hate comments. Like, I mean, I'm a big woman. I would never expect big women to be doing that, to be fair. Do you know what I mean? Like, but like, I would never encourage it. I'm not supporting that. I'm not thingy. I might have a read, like, do you know what I mean? But I'm not kind of like taking it further to that. People need to, I just think it's insane. I really do think it's insane that if you're perpetuating hate on that level, it's insane. I just think it's sane. Yeah. Jai saying, we know why she's getting the hate, and I feel it for her, but she's strong. She's got this. I do believe that she is strong. It feels like she's got no choice but to be strong at this point. Do you know what I mean? Because I can't imagine what she's getting on a daily basis right now. Erin says, Sade, what is so surprising about the hate? She's been getting them since she started the season. She's the only Black woman on reality TV that can't be afforded grace. Like, honestly, and I don't get it. Like, I really don't get why people think that this is okay. This is not going to age well either. Like, I hope people know that it's not going to age well. And the thing is, this is the thing. So Jai's saying they want us all to be like Leanne. No disrespect to her, but it's like we are not allowed to stick up for ourselves just to have to sit there and be pretty in silence. This is the thing. Like, and I you know, you guys that watch me, you know, like, I truly believe we are not a monolith. We are not. We are different. We cannot be the same. And I know we have preferences of how we want people to show up, but it's just not going to happen. We can't. I think there was a phrase, we can't all be cute and mute. No, some of us like to, you know, say what we're thinking and what we're feeling and that sort of thing. And like, I feel like this Whitney versus Leanne has, I don't know why everyone's playing into it. I really no, I do know why, and I really wish they wouldn't. I really wish they wouldn't do this, because no one wins here. No one really wins here, because you are also, it's like there is a lot of assumption on Leanne's character because Leanne has says nothing. Now, I'm not saying like I don't know where Leanne fully stands on anything because she doesn't say anything. Do you know what I mean? So that doesn't mean that she is being fully negative. It doesn't mean she's really positive, but we don't see anything. But it means that we don't have that voice. We don't have that. Do you know what I mean? That her point of view, really and truly, we don't have her point of view. And I think sometimes that can be problematic. Yeah. Mary says, see, that's what I don't understand. Leanne has nothing to do with this. Why do people keep bringing it up? I think like in the context of what we're talking about, like, I guess I'm just making an observation that the stands are like either on Leanne's side or on Whitney's side, right? And what I have seen, because I've seen this with I'm sure most of you have seen this. I've seen this with my own two eyes. Like Whitney done there was a clip of her doing some work with like women's football or something like that. And there were Leanne stands in the comments putting hate towards Whitney on that post, which I just think is just like that. Why do you don't need to do that? You can like Leanne on Leanne's post. You don't need to come on Whitney's post and do the hate, and vice versa. Whitney stands should not be doing that to Leanne either. Like that shouldn't be happening. And this whole pitting them against each other was constructed also by the producers on the show. That's what it was done. Like seriously, I just don't like the way they set this up, especially because they did not show how close Leanne, Whitney, and Belle were in the beginning, right? So when that comment came in where I think Whitney on the show said the trio is back, yeah, when that came in, everyone was like, huh, what trio? Because we didn't see that because they were pitting them against each other. This is, it's just, I just don't think this is right. Like I don't think it's right. They love to see Black women compete. That's the problem. Exactly. Jai said Whitney is so misunderstood. I truly believe that is the case, that she is deeply misunderstood. Ari said, but they didn't like Leanne saying nothing, so why do they keep comparing? This is it. This is it. You can't win. And I feel like Black women in the public's in the public space, yeah, you can't win. There's no winning for you because you cannot, it's like you can't have autonomy over your voice, right? You can't speak up for yourself and you can't say nothing. Do you know? Like, seriously, because if you do say something, because unless Leanne has a perfect answer for every single point that comes at her, they will eventually turn on her. It's just the way it goes. It's like mob mentality. It really is like mob mentality. Erin said it's a case of being palatable and more acceptable type of Black women. Leanne represents them, that for them, what they expect of Black women, which is to be seen and not heard. And you know what? There's a lot of truth in that. There's a lot. That's what it seems like. That's what it seems like is coming across to me, because I saw a lot of complaints about why is she talking about this? It's going on now. It needs to be stopped. Like, why she's dragging it on. I think the timing of her and Belle doing their podcast dropping, I don't know when they actually done them dropping around the same time, didn't help Whitney. Unfortunately, it didn't help Whitney. But in terms of what they were saying that because they both, maybe I'll go in and out of both of these conversations, but they both did reveal a big thing which we didn't know before, was that Scott had he had access to a phone because he had like a root canal. He had to go to the dentist several times, so when he went to the dentist he had access to the phone, and he was able to Google some stuff, right? To me, yeah, and I think I've been consistent with this, that I've been side-eyeing Scott for a long time. Like, do you know what I mean? To me, the villain is Scott. Like, I'm not sure about that guy. I'm really not sure about that guy. I think he definitely is a game player. I think he definitely showed us how he was playing his game during the show. And it's got how he behaved and what Whitney is saying makes sense to me. It just makes perfect sense to me. Like, I'm not seeing people saying there's holes in her story, there's holes in Belle's story. Really? Is there? Like, I don't know. I think this kind of makes sense. Don't get me wrong, I have issues with Belle, but we'll get to that. But like, this is to say that what Whitney is saying in this is what do you call it, is incorrect, or like a stain on her character or something like that, is troubling to me. It really is troubling, because are we watching the same thing? Are we seeing it? I don't think so. Let me just go through some of my notes that I took down. So obviously we did talk about so in the episode, she talks about her background a bit. So I'm not sure if a lot of people knew this in terms of like how she grew up and everything like that. I think her mum and dad separated when she was quite young. So for her most part, she just had her mum. Do you know what I mean? And she kind of like modeled herself on her mum. She felt like her mum was always in survival mode, and she kind of got that mindset from her. She really talked about like public perception and everything like that, how she's been perceived as being super confident and having an ish together and all this kind of stuff. And she was just like, well, I'm not really that confident. I wasn't really that confident. I just was pretending, you know. And I feel that happens to a lot of Black women or a lot of Black girls, where we are perceived as being more confident or more assertive than we actually are, just because of how we look or how we present ourselves, right? And people don't really understand or give space for anything else there. So I think it's like the confidence almost like put on her, and there was also expectation within her family to kind of like, okay, when there's a problem, you sort it out. You don't dwell on issues. You don't really kind of like focus on the emotional side of things. Like you really just get on with it, kind of thing. And again, I feel like this is maybe not for everybody, but that is kind of relatable, especially growing up in a Nigerian household. I totally relate to that. We don't dwell, well, in my experience, I can't speak for all Nigerians, obviously, do you know what I mean? We don't dwell on issues. It's just like, this has happened, okay, what is the solution? How are we going to fix this? Or let's just move on. And I feel like that is not exclusive to Nigerian households either. Like a lot of people experience that type of thing. So not understanding or being willfully why can't I speak? But like being willfully ignorant, that's what I'm trying to say, willfully ignorant on Whitney not being forthcoming with her emotions, yeah, and not understanding that. I just think it's just, I just think people are being disingenuous, yeah. People understand that dynamic. They understand people are like that, right? So let's not pretend. We can clearly see it in her behavior. So why are we pretending like it's not there? She clearly has lots of difficulty expressing herself, and she has. We've seen it time and time again. So she's talking about that, and she's talking about like, especially before the first season, she was still figuring out who she was. I mean, the first time she went on Love Island, she was 25. None of us, if you're under 25, you will also understand this. You don't know who you are at 25. You might think you do, but you don't know who you are at 25. And that certainly will change as well. So she was still figuring out who she was. But she definitely felt a lot of pressure for sure. And she's just like, right, people would tell her that, you know, she's bold, she's confident and everything like that. And she was just like, that's not really me, but let me just pretend and everything like that. So yeah, so then when she came out of that Love Island, they were saying the first time they were saying her teams or people around her saying, oh, maybe she should go down the comedy route, or maybe she should go down the presenting route and everything like that. But she wasn't really sure what she should do. And she felt like she was learning everything on the job. And I feel like, especially for a lot of reality stars, this is what happens. This is a normal, I think, situation that these reality stars find themselves in, that they go, she even said it, like before Love Island the first time, she only had 400 followers. She wasn't really into social media or anything like that. And she's come out and she watched maybe 500,000, I think. I can't remember, maybe Beverly can tell me actually, or what it was when she came out at that point in time. Like, that's insane. So you shot to a sort of stardom, right? And you don't even know who you are. So she's figuring things out. And I think a lot of reality stars, they go through this. And I think it is like, as Mary said, it's like, why are people going so hard for, why is, oh no, maybe that's a different question. But I do think like, I think it's different. I'll come back and answer that question because I have a theory on that. But I do think it is like typical that they don't know how to navigate that space, and they have to have a good set of people around them and have to be kind of secure within themselves which a lot of people aren't anyway on a day-to-day, to be able to navigate that well. And I feel like she is not given the space to make any sort of mistake, like at all, like regardless, because I was just thinking about it, and I'm jumping all over the place as well, but I'm thinking about it like, you know, because people don't like it when she's rude, right? Do you know what I mean? Or when she retaliates to things and things like that. So like people don't like that. And I'm just like, I know in my life, I have definitely said worse for lesser things. I've definitely said much worse. I've treated people badly. Maybe I'm in a bad mood or something, like, do you know what I mean? Kind of thing. So I look at it as just like, what would I do in that situation? How would I do that? Have I ever done something like that? Do you know what I mean? In terms of like, how she's come across to people. And I'm just like, well, if I have, then what is the big deal? Like, it can't be that bad. It can't be that bad. But anyway, you're always a villain in someone's story anyhow. Do you know what I mean? But she just seems to be a villain in so many people's story. And I'm just like, what did she do? What did she do? Seriously, this is the thing. So again, she didn't expect that kind of level of scrutiny, or especially a level of criticism as well when she came out before. And she generally felt that people were picking her apart and she was getting labeled constantly. She talked about that a lot. And she struggled with rules, basically, that she had to learn as well. Oh, you can't say this, you can't do that, and everything like that. She was learning everything in real time, you know? And yeah, so she's been trying to navigate that. That's what I got from the beginning part of the show. She did say about kind of like her representation or how she's represented. She said, like, look, like on TV, she never saw anyone that kind of came across like her before. She kind of described herself as being a bit of ghetto fabulous. I guess if you don't identify with that, then maybe you don't understand Whitney. But yeah, I guess I do. So I understand what she's talking about. But she said, oh, she can code switch. So she thought, okay, I know how to do this and everything like that. And she just wanted to, you know, people to watch her growth, her journey, that sort of thing as well, kind of thing. But the experience the first time around definitely made her like reflect deeply on herself and what she's putting out there. So anyway, then let's jump to like the drama of what she's kind of known for. In this season. So she said that where it kind of started was her and Leanne not being friends. So I actually do have a clip of this bit. Let me hold on. Is it that one or that one? Oh, can you pause, please? Thank you. 1 second. Let me just share my screen. Let me just watch this. It's a little bit. We can stop and start. But she kind of just talks about the where it kind of all started from. Was it this one?
Well, the general consensus of my drama is me not liking Leanne. But
it's one of the main.
That's like the main thing for me. But the gag is like me and Leanne was so cool in the villa.
I saw that you were saying that you guys were like you, her, and Belle.
We were like gang. So seeing it, like how it all played out with the whole Scott situation, I was just like, obviously, like when I was living it, I just thought I was back in my friends because there were a lot of things that happened off cam, but obviously it didn't get shown. So in the moments, I'm just back in my friends because it's reality TV. Okay, cool, I'll back you. You're my friend. Give it beans. But then seeing it seep into my reality, that's when I'm like, okay, no, this.
Wait, what do you mean when you say backing? Like who are you backing? Who are you talking about?
Okay, so long story short, it all stems from. Let me think. Actually, it all stems from. Right, initially, me saying that I don't think that Leanne is Scott's type.
Yeah,
but that just comes from me knowing Scott. And that's just what I thought. Maybe I came in prejudgments, but I know this man. So I just didn't think so initially.
Well, because one of the things you said was about like finances. That's the biggest thing that people like caught on to. So what was going on in your mind? Like, what does that actually mean to you in relation to Scott?
Well, I didn't know Leanne before this, but obviously sometimes we run in the same circles, got mutuals.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then I'm seeing it as like, oh, I don't think Scott can afford my life. So I'm just assuming that we're living similar lifestyles. And I don't know. And I think because in the game, like Shaq, I don't know if it was shown, but Shaq asked us, like, what do we prioritize? Looks, finances, and there was something else. But Leanne's was the finances at the top. So then when the whole game thing cut, when me and now I remember his name. But when me and Scott was talking about types, I was just like, oh, because but in the beginning, I didn't think that would be his type. And that's just me being real. Wow.
And just like, so she was explaining there, like, where a lot of this stuff, or where the Stan Wars at least is coming from, kind of thing, like how her and Leanne, I guess, like her saying that she didn't think Scott was Leanne was his type. I mean, she does know the man. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, they done their season together. He was interested in her friend. He was friends with Locken. They used to do like double dates together. Then even after when Catherine and Scott weren't together, like her and Scott, you know, do you know what I mean? Hung out together. You know, they have history. They know each other. They know each other outside of social media. Like, you know, so I just think like she might know everything about him, but she would have an opinion from what she's seen, right? And I think she is right in that moment, because I think we spoke about it. Abis and we spoke about it. Like, Shaq made a big point that Leanne was talking about, that she needs a guy that's financially stable. I remember that episode. It was quite early on, obviously, because Shaq was still there. But like, yeah, she kind of rated that highly, and she was just like, "Oh, should I say that?" And you know, she did. Like, that's what she said. That's what she said. So like, if Scott ain't got it, you know, do you know what I mean? Then of course, why would he? And then also as well, Scott came in saying that he did like Leanne and Belle as well. So he did say that too. So I don't know. I just think like Black girls, just because they're in the same space, doesn't mean they have to be friends, but it doesn't have to make it, it doesn't mean they have to be enemies either, right? That's the thing. So they can go on Love Island and, you know, make a TV show together, as they all are, but it doesn't mean they have to be like, it's like the fans are making them enemies, and it's just like, this is so unnecessary. This doesn't have to be like this at all. She goes on to, God, my notes all over the place, but she does say like, yeah, her, Leanne and Belle were cool in the villa. We didn't see a lot of that at all on the show, so we never got that context of like how they were like three musketeers essentially. So we didn't see any of that. So basically, yeah, she goes on to say about the thing that really, really did change things is that Scott finding out, like going to the dentist, getting use of someone's phone, and finding out that the public wanted him to be with Leanne, and he done a completely 180, like saying that that's who I should align myself with anyway. He did say, but originally he actually preferred Belle, and he was flirting with Belle and things like that, and he was doing a lot of things as apparently off camera. Now, when you're watching this interview, I feel like there are things that it's like there's things that she's saying, and there's things that she's still trying to hold back not to say. And I think that must be to do with like how it works with Love Island in terms of what you can say and what you can't say. So yeah, so I was I would not be surprised. Now, I don't know. I don't know if this is true or not, but I wouldn't be surprised if they somehow got the go ahead that it was okay for them to say that Scott got access to a phone. I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case. But yeah, so basically she kind of talks about how Scott was really thinking about public perception, right? And I think other people in that villa mentioned that that was the case with Scott, that Scott was thinking about public perception, that he was kind of obsessed with it in a way. Mind you as well, Scott has been on many Love Island shows too. He is trying to win. Like, he's trying to get a good deal for himself afterwards. He's trying to change his life like everybody else, but he was definitely being strategic in terms of how he was going about things. So when the information spread around the villa, because she said like it went from Scott to Kieran to Sammy to Leanne. So Sammy told Leanne apparently that Scott had got this information and now has changed his opinion, is going to move to you. And I remember seeing in the show where Whitney was like, what do you call it? Oh, Millie said it first? Okay, cool. I didn't know that. Oh god, what was I going to say? So I remember when Whitney said to Leanne, I think he's going for Belle. She was the only one that told, that we seen on camera that told Leanne that Scott was going for Belle, you know? So like, and then she talks about how kind of, in a sense, Scott used her. He kind of used her to make it easier for him to switch from Leanne to Belle, because I think Scott is very, very much aware that him as a white man dumping a black girl to go for a white girl is not going to come across well. And I think that is one of the things that she's trying to say without saying. So I'll say it. Like, I think he's very, 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 very much aware of that. And he needed a way, because he did say, I think we did see on camera, where he said like, you know, I can't go too far because I'll be moving mad or something along those lines. It makes sense. Like, of course. So he kind of used her. So she's having a conversation with Scott where Scott is saying off camera that, yeah, he wants to move to Belle. But it's looking mad. So he's brought her to have this conversation. I think they had this conversation twice. And on both times, she didn't want to even, because he's asking her, what should I do? And she didn't want to answer. He was pushing her, asking her, what should I do? And then that's when she said, I'll go for Belle. You know? Now, Wunmi didn't ask her about Shah. Shah? Yeah. She didn't ask her about Shah. So I don't know how that comes into it, or how that came about, or what Scott said to Whitney about Shah or whatever kind of thing. But I understand the psychology of like, if that's my friend, as in if Scott is Whitney's friend and Scott wants, Scott wants to move to someone else without it looking mad. Okay, Scott, I'll help you out. Sure, go for this girl. Do you know what I mean? I think that does make sense to me. So, again, however, even if that's not the case, and Whitney's just like, actually, I can see you better with Belle, and that's just her feeling, I honestly don't think there's anything wrong with that. She didn't know Leanne before. Leanne wasn't her friend in that sense. They were getting to know each other, and they were pally in the beginning kind of thing. And she preferred Scott to be with Belle over Leanne. That is not enough to have this kind of reaction against Whitney. It doesn't make sense. Like, that is too much. Is so disproportionate. It's insane. They don't have to like each other. They don't have to be friends. They really don't have to be friends. But how Whitney's story is that she was studying, she was supporting her friend, Scott. She was trying to make it easier for him. And while she feels betrayed, and she says she feels dumb, she feels stupid, because Scott was supposed to come out and say, like, this was the case. Actually, do you know what I mean? Whitney, help me out. And he never done it. He never came out and supported her. In fact, she says that when they got their phone back, she says like, oh, people are sending me racist commentary, or they're sending me racist comments. Can you please say something? Can you please do something publicly? He said, oh, fucking hell, Whitney, we haven't even landed yet. Like, what? You see, Scott? What do you mean? You're the reason I'm in this mess in the first place. Do you know what I mean? Like, I know you can't even say anything. That's insane. That's really insane. So yeah, I think he does. I think Crispy, I think you're right. Like, so Scott is about social comments 110%. Like, I think that's what it is. Like, he's playing everybody. I just think he's really, really playing everybody. Yeah, said, but Leanne did it twice with Scott. Scott didn't have to leave Leanne to move to Belle. If he really wanted Belle, he could have. He just I'm really confused about the so-called backlash. What do you mean? Oh, so what do you mean about the last bit? But I think he still understood the optics of it. That him being who he is, like, moving on to this girl, nah, it would never have really gone down well, and I think he knows it. Yeah, I think he's very, very, very aware of that. He's very well versed on race relations. Like, do you know what I mean? I think he's very well versed of that, and he knows exactly what he's doing there. So yeah, she talks about how when they got their phones back, that's when reality really definitely hit, and the stand wars. And she saw that she said she did try to fix things, and she said, like, Leanne, like, she talked to Leanne's friend said to her that Whitney ain't her friend, so she was just like, not too sure I can do something. And I think that's fair. From Leanne's point of view, that her watching it back and seeing the edit, or her friends showing her the edit and seeing, like, okay, yeah, Whitney weren't backing you, so that probably ain't your girl, that probably ain't your day one. I think that's fair. Do you know what I mean? She doesn't have to, but I think, like, the part of the thing that Whitney clarified was that Sammy obviously told Sammy told Leanne what Scott had done in terms of, like, finding out that the public wanted him to be Leanne and changing his actions and doing a 180. And Leanne was happy to go along with that. Like, she was happy to just carry on. And I'm not even holding that against Leanne, because at the end of the day, it is a game show. And I feel like if she wants to be with Scott, then be with Scott. Like, do you know what I mean? As I've said while we were covering it, couples do better. Do you know what I mean? So it's better that she's in a couple or even that he's in a couple than not, you know? So yeah. Fine for her. But I remember when we was covering it as well, I was also saying, I don't like how this guy is moving with her. I don't like, because you know what I always remember as well from that show, what sticks out, and I know we didn't do our kind of like top 10 mad moments from that season, is the heart rate challenge, where Scott got Belle on the floor and took the champagne in his mouth and poured it into Belle's mouth, yeah, in front of Leanne. Wild behavior. Absolutely wild behavior. That's wild. Crazy. I just don't like. I remember thinking of when Mimi was on the terrace on her knees and thinking, you're acting like an egg at this moment. I felt, Leanne, you're acting like an egg at this moment. Like, do you know what I mean? No, I just thought this is wild. This is wild. He's taken the absolute piss. He really is. But she was able to forgive him and move on and still be with him and come third in the show. So I feel like come on, seriously. She knows what time it is. She knew what time it was. Anyway, she knew what time it was with him, you know. So I'm telling you, it still haunts me to this day. To this day. Seriously. So then, anyway, after the show, I feel like Whitney, as I said, she was saying in this, she said that she felt let down, she felt dumb, that sort of thing. She thinks that Scott didn't support her, hasn't come out and publicly supported her because of like the fan stan pressure and everything like that. They did have a bit of a conversation. He said he wanted to go through edits. I think that sounds like someone who wants to shape a narrative, and she's just like, why do we need to go through edits? We lived it, we know what was what. I think that is absolutely fair in that sense. Like I really do. But yeah, in terms of the friendship dynamics, so her and where it kind of like shifted between her and Leanne, she is now super clear that the shift happened after Leanne pulled Yemen. Now, what we didn't know, which Whitney revealed, was that in the kissing challenge, which happened before that, Leanne was locked in to kiss Connor. And what I learned from previous thing is that before they do a challenge, they've already decided. So they lock in their answer, they lock in who they're going to pick. So in the Snog, Marry, Pie challenge, they lock in who they were going to do. And she was supposed to kiss Connor, and then she ends up kissing Yemen. Now, I don't know about you, but if we're a trio, yeah, and then you do something left like that, I'm looking at you sideways. I'm side-eyeing you 100%. And then if the next thing you do is you go and you pull the guy that I'm feeling, and also as well, Whitney talked about like when they were sitting down talking about how their relationships are going, she didn't want to talk about her relationship because she was in a good place. And let me say couples, because they're not really a relationship at this stage. They're couples because she was in a good place, and the two of them, Belle and Leanne, weren't in a good place. So she didn't want to talk about it. And she said that they were drawing it out of her and like really trying to understand, forcing her to talk about, you know, how she feels about it. So for her, and maybe they didn't know, Leanne and Belle, I will say this, maybe they didn't know that for her, that's a big deal. For her to talk about, you know, her happy emotions about how she's feeling with this guy. You know, to be fair to them, they might not know, but for her, it was a big deal. And so it cut deeper for her because she had just expressed that she really likes this guy, that she's really feeling it, and she's just opened up about this, something she wouldn't normally do. She's just opened up about this, and then you've gone and not only kiss the guy that I like, not over you originally locking in and kissing someone else, you're now kissing the guy that I like, then after that you're taking him to the secret garden. She felt type of way, and I understand it. And the thing is, yeah, I feel like she's more reasonable. Even I'm older than her by far, do you know what I mean? I would be more unreasonable than she is, and I know myself I would be more unreasonable, but like she's reasonable to the extent where she's just like, you know what, I can't tell her what to do, because they talked about her and Liam having the conversation, and Wunmi was just like, well, perhaps you should have, you know, maybe mentioned to her that, you know, you didn't like it. And she was just like, I don't feel like I need to train or give my friend or someone who's my friend a code of conduct or how they should behave around me, or how they should treat me, or like in terms of loyalty and stuff like that. And again, I'm just like, I hear it, because like, you shouldn't really have to. you shouldn't really have to. You shouldn't really have to. Like, if you're also as well, it is also a good filter sometimes as well. Maybe, I don't know. I really don't know. Maybe I need to think about this more, because I don't know if it's like, if you do people just act that way because you've said it, or I want to see your true character. Like, I want to see your true character. So I don't want to give you rules. I don't want to give you like, oh, this is how you should do that. Like, if we're in this scenario, do this. No, I want to see who you are, you know? I want to see who you are. And that was her approach. That was her approach with it. So again, I hear it. Like, I'm not really getting a backlash. I hear it from her point of view. I really do. So yeah, I feel like she felt like those two actions with Yemen basically broke. She was just like, nah, this ain't it. And that caused her to be hot-headed in her conversation or her arguments with Leanne. Also, she did also say that with Leanne, that there had been multiple things that had happened in the villa where people had taken the piss out of her. Maybe, I think she was referring to Scott at that point in time. And what was it? And Leanne hadn't done anything about that. But once Whitney had said something to her, Leanne is then switching on Whitney and they're having like a back and forth. I was just like, okay. Yeah, so I just thought, this is a lot. This is a lot. But yeah, I feel like with Belle and Sammy, I think they talked about this argument. I think Wunmi showed a clip of Leanne and Whitney getting into it when Belle and Sammy were kind of coming for Lucinda. So her kind of logic was that Belle is a hothead, so don't hype Belle. And she thought that Leanne was hyping Belle. And then things escalated basically. But she did believe that Leanne's anger towards her Whitney was misplaced, and that sort of thing. She does talk about a lot of things happening off camera and that sort of thing, and like we don't get the full story, so she tried to clarify those points. And then also she talked about the India situation. So as you guys know, after the final, she had an interview with India. It didn't go so well. She revealed that her and India don't have the best relationship out off camera, and they haven't for a while. And she was just like, look, she doesn't really rate people who are just gonna like be fake and everything, but she does admit that her tone was off. But she stood on being honest. Now, Wunmi does push her on this, and she shows a clip from Whitney's podcast where they're talking about that situation. And Whitney said, like, if I was being petty, I could have brought up, the drama that that India was going through at the time. And Wunmi was just like, can't you see how that gives space for people to come at you, because that is a really horrible thing that she's going through, or something to that effect. And Whitney's response was just like, well, she's not nice to me. It wasn't in like in that moment. And then she then kind of further said that they had an argument after that. So then because she didn't have her phone back at that point in time, she didn't know that India had unfollowed her, and the unfollow was more about the argument rather than what happened on camera. That's my understanding of that. But she doesn't really take back what she said in that moment, and she's not going to apologize for being honest and stuff. Now, I kind of see this two ways. I think I see both sides of this, because I think that was it a bit below the belt? Yeah, maybe a little bit. But at the same time, I do think I don't know. I know I'm definitely not for everybody, and I know not everybody thinks like this. I am very aware for this, but there are some incidences, like if you come for me, I'm going to take it to hell. Like that, there are some incidences, or some people do trigger that in me, and I think that's what India and Whitney are going through, because I think Whitney had enough of India being hot and cold with her, and then doing that on camera. It was very triggering for her, and I think that. If you think that interviewers can't adjust what they're saying or phrase their question or be mindful when they're asking their question, then you're deeply mistaken. They absolutely can. They absolutely have the power to do that. You know, India's not a powerless person, and her question was vague. And I think I said that at the time. Her question was vague. It could have been much more nuanced in the way that she asked it. And from what Whitney is saying, it seems like, and this is my assumption, that I think when she was asked the question from Maya, which was earlier, that was she was briefed on that kind of thing, which shows a mindful presenter, right? Do you know what I mean? Well, if you're going to be, if we've got prior history, yeah, and you're bringing it on camera, then you are being petty. Then you are being petty. There's no there's no two ways about it. And the thing is, it's just like, and the thing is, it's not for everybody. It really isn't for everybody. But yes, being in the industry, you'll see how many people are just fake. Like, just super fake. So I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. It didn't do Whitney any favors. So I think I don't like that aspect because it didn't do her any favors. But if she's standing on what she's standing on, then that's what she's standing on. Like, I don't even think I don't even mind her for it. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're just not that kind of person. You're just not that kind of person at all. But yeah, she did say that she's doing this for herself. She's not doing it for anyone. She's just kind of getting it off her chest. And, you know, hopefully this will help her move on from the situation as well, which I think is absolutely fine. She talked about Yemen as well. And, you know, she just gave a totally different energy when she was talking about Yemen. And she feels like, you know, this is the first time she's been in a relationship where someone has stood 10 toes down for her publicly. She said that he's everything she would want in a husband. And yeah, she's really happy. And she's happy. She's hope, you know, she'll be in love again, but she finally feels supported and safe. And I absolutely love that for her. I think that is absolutely great for her. But yeah, she said at the end, she was talking about how she's feeling about everything. She doesn't still fully processed how she feels about everything. She's still going through and trying to understand it and understand herself, because she's still understanding herself, which again, I think is fair. She's got to the point where she has to put herself in a position where she feels like she can't care about what people think. And obviously she shouldn't care what people think, because the vast majority of it is negative, and that cannot be helpful for anybody's state of mind, you know. But she said her guard is up, which I was a bit sad at that point when she said her guard is up, because I don't want that for her. I don't want her for her guard to be up like that. But I understand why it is. And she's saying that she won't be as open again as well. And she's ready to close this chapter and move on. So yeah, overall, I'll get to comments in a second, but like overall, I just thought it was a really good interview. There were definitely things that we didn't know before that gave a bit insight, gave a bit of context and a bit of clarity. I do feel like, although Wunmi was saying like, oh, this is not for you to explain yourself, it was to give clarity. I do think there was a bit of explaining herself in that, but it's hard to get away with it because of the nature of what we're dealing with as well. My only criticisms for it is just that I just wanted there to be more balance on the like maybe for some of the clips or something like that kind of thing, to show, like, to highlight things from Whitney's point of view as well, just to balance out some of those clarifications, or support some of those clarifications as well, which you do see in when Paul Bronson was interviewing Lucinda. You see it there. You see it. We'll talk about the Belle and great, what's it called, Great Company on there as well, and just having that balance would have been great, because I think all the examples were like opposed to the points rather than to support it, kind of thing. And some examples of that just like just showing, like just painting the picture of how she's being presented, how she's being perceived rather than what actually happened. So showing like the Shaq situation, how she weren't shouting for shit, like, do you know what I mean? And you know, that how you know, the interactions with her and Leanne, it wasn't just Whitney going at Leanne. There were points where Leanne was going at Whitney as well, kind of thing. Also how showing how Scott was forcing Whitney to answer questions on who the choices that he should make himself as well. So I feel like that would have been cool. And yeah, that was it. It was it's long. If you want to watch it, I feel like watch it. It's a good, I think it's just a good interview. I think Wunmi she's brilliant, and I hope this if anything opens up more doors for her as well, kind of thing. I want to see a lot more what I want to see what else she can do, you know, do you know what I mean? With Wunmi, I thought she was really good, but I really liked how Whitney came across. Again, I know this is not necessarily a popular opinion, and I feel like I'm just one of those people, I don't care, this is my opinion. This is how I feel about it, and everyone can have their own opinion, especially, well, in this space, as long as it's respectful, do you know what I mean? And that sort of thing. But yeah, okay, cool. Let me just get some comments. Maya said, for someone who was into Leanne, that was wild and disrespectful. Yes, that's Scott doing, is that referring to Scott, I think. Erin said he didn't even need to do all these things. He could have just stuck with Leanne all the way through, but because he wanted to drive a narrative, now Whitney is getting hate for it. Exactly, that's the thing. And I feel like it shows cowardice that he isn't coming forward and just saying, okay, actually I messed up, I should have done this, he is not taking responsibility or accountability for anything that he's done, or the way that he's put not just Whitney but Leanne in embarrassing situations on national television just for a narrative. Like, it's insane. Scott, bro, yeah, not my fan. KW saying, but in one breath she's saying she didn't feel any loyalty to Leanne because she didn't know her and Scott is her friend. Then another, maybe she's saying Leanne is her friend. I think that friendship grew in the villa. I think it grew, and I think it's just like a case of, and I don't know why, you know, I think it seems, I'm not gonna say this, but I feel like it's just like, you don't know someone, you come into a villa and you're moving with that person. So it's you, Leanne, and Belle all the time. You're moving to them. So there will grow even if it's a pseudo, even if it's a surface, like, until you show me different, we're cool. And what Leanne done in those moments will show her different. And then we'll go on to it. But that's what ignited Belle's behavior. I think that is incorrect though, like, do you know what I mean? And I with what Whitney said at that point in time was just like, if Belle goes for Scott, she's worse than Lucinda, and she stood by that, and I agree with that for sure. And I think for Belle to take that situation and then do what she done is crazy work, because you don't have to do that. Just because Leanne is doing what she's doing doesn't mean you need to act accordingly. It absolutely doesn't. It shouldn't justify that. That's wild to me. Mary said, so wait, I thought it was just a friendship that began on the show and Whitney didn't owe Leanne anything with Scott advice. Shouldn't it be vice versa? What do you mean by that? The vice versa bit, please, so I'm clear. Maya says, Sammy lost it too when Lucinda picked Kieran and people were backing her, but when Whitney did it, it was a problem. Exactly. Kiki, having a Kiki, hey Kiki, and I understand, but Whitney contradicts herself a lot. Non-verbalizing her issues with Leanne led to more passive-aggressive behavior and comments that made me as a viewer look at Whitney sideways. I mean, that's absolutely fine. I think she talked about her not fully even understanding that that was a trigger for her, like fully in that moment. And she was just like, it's even dawning on her now, like how much of a trigger it was for her. So she couldn't. So this is the thing. I feel like if someone has an issue with verbalizing herself, you can't expect them to be in a pressurized situation and then verbalize themselves if they have an issue with it. It's a non-stop. It's not going to go anywhere. She can't do that because she doesn't have the tools to do it. She's just learning the tools or going through it now where she's or feeling safe enough, at least in that space with Wunmi, to be able to verbalize herself. But if she ain't got the skills, she ain't got the skills. Or she doesn't feel comfortable, she doesn't feel comfortable. Like, how is she supposed to do it? Like, yes, it led to more passive aggressive behavior in a sense, because I feel, and this is just my opinion, I feel like it comes out in some ways. It definitely comes out in some ways. Yeah. Hey, Waving said, on all shows that India was on, she was always had Whitney's back and was fair to her in commentary. I think she's doing her job in that sense. I don't know. The thing is, yeah, I can't lie. I am intrigued about India at the moment. I think there is definitely more to India's story than we all know. And I'm intrigued to learn more. I really am. And I watch Inside. Yeah, I want to know more. I really do. KW said, so basically everybody but the common denominator is wrong. KW, come on, man. Green Flowers said, Sade, I love your views, but I think you're not allowing yourself to see past Whitney. There's a lot of things she did that was not right, and we can't always blame others. Now, I don't know. I feel like I can definitely, when you say see past Whitney, I feel like I am not going to go on to the hate train. I think there are definitely things about her or about the way that she's come across on the show that, you know, weren't the greatest, but I gave her grace. And I think it's okay that I can do that. Like, do you know what I mean? If everybody else wants to jump on this thing or have that opinion, let me not say jump on that, because you can have that opinion, but like, it's just not the way I am, that kind of thing. If I can see something more in that person, if I can see what I think are like challenges, then I'm gonna have more grace, and I can see the challenges. And for maybe because there are some parts that I recognize in myself, or maybe because of my upbringing or whatever kind of thing, I recognize it and I'm just like, yeah, I can see where she's coming from. Do you know what I mean? I don't think it's always, and I'm not necessarily blaming others. I do want some other people though to take responsibility and take accountability for what they also done in this, because Whitney didn't do this by herself. Like, that's insane. She didn't just come out and say these things. If she's saying that she had a conversation with Scott, like, I pretty much believe her. I believe she did have a conversation with Scott, right? Do you know what I mean? I need Scott to come out and say that he didn't have that conversation, you know? Or he needs to say, we did have this conversation and I acted accordingly. And then we can see if people then give Whitney a break, or if they continue to jump on this hate train against her, which I think the latter will happen because they just don't like her. He said, I'm still not sold on Yemen, but I wish them the best. You know what? To be fair, I do. I hope it's real. I really do hope it's real. For Whitney's sake, I hope it's real. I really do. I hope it's real. Because if it's not, and this guy is just playing a game, oh, mate, the pain would be horrible. Kiki also said, overall, I think Whitney has a lot of growing up to do. I like her, but I can't ignore the cycle of constantly having issues with other Black women on her show. She needs to learn self-accountability. I think she is learning to be accountable. I don't think it's just necessarily Black women on the shows either, kind of thing. I know that's a narrative that's going around at the moment. I think I saw one clip where someone was saying, oh, like she came for Ella out of nowhere on her show. It wasn't out of nowhere. It really wasn't out of nowhere. Like from Whitney's point of view on that show, she came for Ella because Ella called her smug in one of the challenges, and she downplayed it like it meant nothing when her and Whitney were supposed to be friends. And then they had an argument about the bathroom usage, and then Whitney called her selfish, and Ella wasn't happy with that kind of thing, and she didn't want her talking to that type of way. So it weren't coming nowhere at all. And the thing is, this is the thing. I feel like we really, sometimes I think like in reality, like, could someone I don't really know talk to me or act like that, or do you know what I mean, kind of thing, with no repercussions, with no chat back, with no nothing, no, like, kind of thing. I think she's just being herself. And try me and you're seeing it. I know I'm talking about myself, but but yeah, I just think like some of us, we don't tolerate that. Some of us don't. Some of us do, and some of us don't. And some of us can pick and choose when to do it. Some of us don't. Like, do you know what I mean? Whitney said, most of what Whitney is saying clarifies the situation happened off camera according to her responses. Okay. Bottom line, choose your friends wisely. Yes, I agree. He said, when it comes to India, do you think that either woman deserves the anger that Wit has for them? Don't they deserve the grace you want for Wit? For India, if India has been mean to Whitney or petty with Whitney beforehand, no. If you're going to give it, you need to take it, I do believe, in most cases. For Leanne, I don't know, like the anger, I don't know about anger. I didn't see anger coming from Whitney. Frustration, yeah, I don't know, I don't think it was anger really. Frustration and annoyance maybe, but like, yeah, I don't know, like, why would Leanne would be the perpetrator in that, so why would she be given, do you know what I mean? Or maybe I'm not understanding the clarify. If I've answered that correctly, let me know. Sorry. Your proper ride or die. I like to think so. Well, I said before she takes accountability, she needs to heal the trauma she has with some Black women in her industry. There's something there that she needs to look into. Still Team Whitney though. I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't know if this is a people are making this seem like it's an epidemic, right? Do you know what I mean? I don't know if it is. I don't know. Maybe I need to see more, but I don't even know how to say that. How do you even say this? Like, for the little piece of industry that I know and have been involved with, yeah, I definitely keep myself to myself most of the times. And if you cross the line with me, then that's very real to me. For some people, it isn't. And they can just placate, they can just be a typical industry person, be like, hey, yeah, all that kind of stuff. They can do that. But for me, I'm from that space, or like, nah, you crossed the line. So that line is crossed, and we're going to have to sort it out before we can do any sort of pleasantries again. That's the kind of person I am. Now, a lot of people in the industry are not like that. They're not like that kind of thing. So I understand where she's coming from. So I don't think it's a lot of Black women in the industry. I think it's just anybody. I really do. And also as well, we've only really, you just can't assume. I don't know. let me stop. I think that the optics at the moment, because she's with Millie and she seems to be supporting Belle and Helena, that annoys me. I can't lie, because why is she there? But she's there because Karen's there. But anyway, that's what makes it look more of a stark contrast It really does. Gilda says, Whitney is saying Leanne talking to Yemen to Secret Garden opened the door to Belle to go for Scott, or production told Belle to go for Scott. Whitney is saying Leanne taking Yemen to the Secret Garden opened the door for Belle to go to Scott, or production. I think she was saying, I don't know if she said production. I don't think she said production. I don't think she said, but she was saying for her point of view, how she understands it, that made it, in Belle's mind, okay for her to go for Scott. I don't think she was saying like, this is how it happened. It was more like, this was her mindset. That's what I got from that, Gilda, if that makes sense. Why did he not choose Belle from day one? I think he wanted to have screen time. Maya says Belle said production pushed her. She was begging for a bombshell, and they said they wanted to see the triangle drama first. Maybe they did. But I do think two things can be true at the same time. Production could have pushed her, and she could have looked at that situation. I don't think that's great. I don't think her looking at the situation and saying, okay, now that gives me a pass is a good thing. I think that's crazy. Like, do you know what I mean? I blame Scott. Me too. In that situation. So India and Leanne's problematic behavior can be called out, and it's not hate, but anything said about Whitney's behavior is a hate train. No, I think, Mary, to be clear, I think the amount and the what do you call it? I don't think also as well, I don't think India's behavior has been called out in relation to this. I don't think it has. I don't think people are seeing a problem with how India came across. They're seeing a problem with Whitney. I think her behavior was called out when it came to Dami, and I was defending India because I thought it was too much also. That was my position on India and the Dami situation. I just thought it was way too much. Leanne's problematic behavior, I don't know if Leanne has been called out for problematic behavior. I don't think she has. I think Leanne has got a hell of a lot of support, and her commentary has been mostly positive. Like, do you know what I mean? So I don't know what you mean when you say called out their behavior. I don't think they are being called out in that sense. Yeah, I don't think that's happening, first of all. But I think that the amount of people and the amount of the strength of what people are saying against Whitney is not proportionate to what she's being accused of doing. Like, I just don't think it's proportionate at all. And I think it is jumping, you know, when it gets to that kind of level, then it is jumping on a hate train. Like, anyone calling for like doing up racism, putting out death threats, like all of that kind of stuff, that's insane. Like, and if you're constantly going in at someone, or if you're going on posts that are unrelated to what's happened to spew hate in some sort of way, then that is absolutely a hate train. That's what I mean. Yeah. Hey Dami, how you doing? Gilda said Belle said production told her to go for Scott. Yeah, I think that can be true. If two things can be true, then we can say production told Leanne to kiss. But you know what, Gilda? You can say that. Yes, I see where you're going, Gilda. But I feel like yes, production could have told her to kiss Yemen, but does she have to give him a full-blown kiss? Like, you know what I mean? But also as well, if they had, maybe they locked in and she locked in Connor, then maybe production whispered in Leanne's ear and said, go for Yemen. I would love Leanne to come out and clarify. I would love for her to do that. Do you know what I mean? Because if they haven't even had the conversation, because even in that, they alluded to that, not even having that conversation between them anyway. So I'd love her to clarify, you know? Yeah. So yeah. Okay, so no one's behavior was worse than Belle's. Absolutely. And Whitney's stuck by her like glue. I think that if what they are saying is true, at least from their point of view, I think that them both getting hate creates a bond. Like, do you know what I mean? And I think them both being kind of done dirty by Scott also enforces that bond. So I can see how that can happen. I can see how that can happen. And plus as well, from their point of view, from their POV, they stayed friends, right? Do you know what I mean? So it was the three of them and they stuck together. So why wouldn't she continue staying with her? That's the thing. Like, yeah. So I don't necessarily think it's a good look. I don't necessarily think it's a good look. If I had my PR hat on, I would be creating hella distance. That's what I would be doing. But yeah, that's just me. Maya says, yes, Gilda. Actually, Whitney acknowledged that, but said they have the power not to go with production, telling them what to do. Yeah, I believe that. Yeah. Okay. So that's that on that in terms of that kind of thing. So yeah. So for my replay people, yeah, this is I'm not doing it. I'm not here to shit on Whitney anymore. Like then she's already having to deal with, to be fair. Yeah, that's just me. But you guys know this already anyway. Okay, cool. So let's go on to, let me get my things. The Belle conversation. So Belle Hassan was on Great Company with Jamie Lang. It wasn't as long, so that was good. So that one was under an hour and everything like that. And the thing is, unfortunately for Belle, or fortunately for us, and this is why I think the producers are shady as well, but like you never know what side they're on. But anyway, Abis is good. She's in the comments somewhere. She's good. So unfortunately for her, she made a comment when she was leaving the villa that she was gonna give Scott hell on the podcast when she came out. So I feel like no matter what she came out and said, she was always going to be tainted because she came with such a revenge stance at that moment. It was never going to be a good look. It was never, ever going to be a good look at all. And also as well, Belle has almost refused to take any sort of responsibility for how she acted as well. And again, this is my thing about like people were doing much worse in that villa. And so I don't get the Whitney response. But Belle was one of those people who was doing so much friggin' worse than everybody else, with her many outbursts, her many disrespectful things she would say to people. So Lucinda, Sean, Scott, her disregard for Leanne's feelings, and keep on saying like, oh, it's got nothing to do with Leanne. It's got everything to do with Leanne. Like, what are you talking about? Like, it was just a little bit wild. And I just don't think, I wonder, and I don't mean this disrespectfully, like how she passed the psych eval, because she clearly is struggling with anger management. Like she's clearly struggling with that. And I think it's irresponsible to put someone who cannot manage their anger in an environment like that. And she does talk about it in this thing. So she did talk about in this pod, she talked about her mental health struggles. She talked about her dealing with, and trigger warning, sorry, I should say, very clear trigger warning. Belle talked about her mental health struggles. She talks about depression. She talked about self-harm. She talked about how she really was so insecure. She didn't think highly on herself at all. And she you know, felt very unlovable in a way. And she really did struggle with this from about the ages of 13 or 14. And this has kind of plagued her throughout her life. And she's done a lot of work on herself. She's gone to therapy quite a bit to manage it. Basically, she said that before she didn't know how to express her emotions, she didn't know how to ask for help and everything like that. And she said talking about her problems was like a major turning point for her. So they kind of painted the picture of like, you know, where she started, who is she, like, how has she come to be this fiery person? I say fiery in comments because it's aggressive. You know what I mean? It's aggressive behavior. So yeah, she said that for the All Stars experience, she really struggled. She really struggled. KW said, "Who's their therapist? Vicky Pollard." That's that order. Hilarious. So she said that she really struggled in the villa. She said that she asked to leave multiple times. She said that she was constantly triggered. She was unable to say certain I wondered, I can do this. I forgot. Sorry. She can what to call it? That she was unable to escape certain situations. So she said that she had no space to kind of do her normal coping mechanisms. So normally in the real world, she would walk away. She would put music on. She would like change her, like those kind of things would really help change her mood. And she said that the producers would actually, or the producers should go to psych or whatever, and they would analyze her and stuff and kind of send her back in there. So she would say, "Oh, I want to leave," or "She's not feeling good." They would have a chit chat with her about it and then send her back into the house. And then she said that how she felt was that then the next day or the next evening, there will be things in like the games that will be triggering her, or things would be cool and then a game would trigger things. And I feel like, to be fair, we saw that and we recognized that ourselves, that actually everything would be cool in the villa, everybody's getting on, then they'll play a game and they would be triggering things in that. So I do believe her in that sense. But I don't necessarily think she was singled out and they were going after Belle specifically, although that could be true, because I don't put anything past producers ever at all. But I do think that hold on one second, let me do this. Sorry, I need to do a little something at the same time. Let me do this. Do that now. Here. Sorry, one second. Just changing this around. So I can keep my thing at the same level. So she so yeah, I think we saw that. I think it was really obvious when they were trying to do that, and it was just, yeah, it was kind of awful when they're trying to make it happen. When it's too obvious that they're just trying to get a reaction out of these people, it always makes me feel a little bit cringy. Anyway, so she did say that she believes that the storylines were heavily influenced by production. She said that certain relationships were encouraged, so that the Scott situation, she did say that she felt like everyone was playing a game and she wasn't personally aware of that, and she wasn't privy to this. I think someone just said this as well. The thing is, my problem with this is that this is the second time she's been on Love Island. Like, so, and also as well, you definitely talk to and see at least clips of the show as well. So you know what time of day it is. So to kind of suggest that you were so oblivious that everyone was playing a game and that you weren't aware of this is, I think insulting our intelligence a little bit. I really do think it is a little bit. But my only, I guess my caveat of this is that if her reading of situations is tainted in some way because of what the things that she's going through, that's the only thing I could say. Like the way that she sees the situation might be different to how everybody else is seeing it. That's the only thing. She did say that obviously there are some contestants on the show that were acting based on public perception, which is the Scott situation. And yeah, she kind of says the same thing that Whitney and I didn't know Millie said this, but Millie said as well that Scott had went to the dentist and was using the what do you call it? Searching things up on Google and to try and understand who was the most popular girl to who he should align himself with. And when he found out it was Belle, he started to move to her. Now, she was saying, referencing some things about like him doing these things off camera, and saying that he wants to move to her, but like she needs to give him time because he needs to do a pivot. And so the way she saw it was like she was popular in the public eye, and he wanted to align himself with someone popular, and she fancied him anyway. So she thought, okay, cool. So I feel like at one point I do remember Belle being quite popular, and this was, I think, before. At one point, before at the start of the Lucinda situation, I think no, she didn't go with the dentist with him. She didn't go to the dentist with him. I think it was at the start of the Lucinda situation when Lucinda was acting a fool. First of all, I think most people were on Belle's side. I think we were, because it was just like, because I remember even saying like, I know Belle is going off, but when it's directed at the right person, I don't have an issue with it. But yeah, and I thought it was directed at the right person. Like, come on, like that was a bit wild. But yeah, so I think she was popular at that point in time. And so Scott's, you know, when the thing he done a Google, and she, hey Simma, how you doing? Hope you're good. Hope you're good. Hope you're well. Scott then honed in on Belle, it seemed. This kind of went all over the place because there wasn't that much about this whole situation. So she did reveal that. She did say, you know, she was kind of just laying it on like Scott was the problem, that he was saying one thing to her and kind of saying another thing to somebody else, right? Well, to Leanne and to everybody else, that he had told people in the villa this is what he was going to do. So she kind of went with it, and she was triggered because she had been in abusive relationships before. It was really, really upsetting to her, as abusive relationships are, and yeah, she was unhappy about it. About the Lucinda situation, she didn't really talk about Lucinda by name, if I remember correctly. I don't have his fill-in notes on this, actually, unfortunately. But she did say, she referred to what happened. She said, she was alluding to, I'm going to say Lucinda performing reactive abuse. That's what she said. And I just thought, this is a wild claim. I thought this was a wild claim. She said that she was being provoked. Yeah. She said she was being provoked repeatedly. And because of she was being provoked by Lucinda, I'm assuming that she said, she said that then she would blow up and she would look like the crazy one. She said that others as well, maybe Lucinda, were provoking her, and she said subtly subtly off camera as well. And she was then portrayed as the bully / aggressor. That to me was just like, oh wow, that's PR. I'm just like, what? No, now don't get me wrong, because I cannot pretend I did not see the clips where Lucinda was following her around the villa. That's wild behavior. That's actually wild behavior. And that is provoking someone because you do want them to acknowledge you, address you, that sort of thing. And Lucinda should have been stopped from doing that behavior. That should have been stopped. And I know, and she referenced this because there was a clip they put, I think they put on the page where they showed that a montage of that happening, and they put funny music over it. And what Belle was saying was just like, you can put the funny music over it, but it wasn't funny to me because that's someone provoking me, trying to trigger me into a reaction. So I can hear that. However, this is why it kind of goes back to the producers, because they made the choice, knowing this about her, knowing what her triggers were, knowing that she's this fiery person, to keep her in that villa. And I think that is wrong. And that is not, and I do, again, I think two things can be wrong at the same time, because Belle repeatedly blew up. She blew up on people. She was calling people out of their name. It was just ridiculous. And I don't even like Sean. I don't like him as a character. I don't like the way he comes across at all. And you guys know this. Like, but the way she was just telling Shaw, shut your mouth. Whoa. Like, it was a lot. It was a lot. It was a lot. And she should have been reprimanded for it. She absolutely should have been reprimanded for it, or she should have been granted to leave the villa. Do you know what I mean? She talked about the online hate that she's saying that she's getting death threats, like messages to kill herself, that sort of thing. And she said that it took her to a really, really dark place. And that's part of the reason why she didn't come out and do a podcast straight away. She took the time because she needed to get right with herself. Now, anybody, again, you know, over how we play over here on this side of the internet, we don't do those kind of things. We don't condone those kind of things. That is crazy. Like, if things you watch are pushing you to a place, or you feel are pushing you to a place where you want to send death threats to people then you need to stop watching those things. Like, it's not for you. You don't have the right mindset to be able to handle this type of thing. If you're sending death threats, that is crazy behavior. You have no idea who she is, like, as a person. Nothing she's done is warranted death threats. Like, come on. Do you know what I mean? But has she been rude to people? Absolutely. Has she been disrespectful? Absolutely, she has. And she should take accountability for those things, but she hasn't really. She said that she stands by her actions, she stands by her reactions. Like, whoa. Like, do you know what I mean? Even if you stand by your actions, you can still, as a mature person, say, but how I reacted was wrong. Like, you can say that, but her saying that she stand by how she reacted, she was saying that what do you call it, what did she say? She said with her reactions that, you know, people want me to hate that part of herself. No, it's not about hate. It's like, manage that part of yourself. Like, manage that. Don't project that onto other people. That's not fair. Like, if you do, that's not fair. Then you need to at least take some sort of accountability for that, for how you made them feel in those moments, you know? Seriously. But she did say, like, she's reacting like that because things weren't shown. She said she's not blaming the edit, but then she did blame the edit. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know. It's just a lot. It was just a lot. And she's high. She said that she's emotional, she's fiery, she's authentic. And I hate to say it, but I feel like with her, it's like you're using these words to actually hide your bad behavior. Like, no, babe, like, you can't be shouting in someone's face and telling them all these sorts of things, even though you're upset and stuff, but you can't be shouting like that and then say, like, oh, you're just fiery. No. No, but I think it comes from the family because her dad is the same as her. She talks about her, calls her dad her best friend. You know, they even have a message from the dad, like who praise her strength and resilience and that type of thing. And she said that her family is like, you know, her main support system and everything like that. When she came back, she did say that she was falling apart and everything. She was telling her mom, and it was like a real lot for her. And I can see that. I do think like maybe though there is a bit of what do you call it? Oh, what is the word? What is the word? Not coddling. But they're just not, they're kind of, it's like coddling that behavior, right? Do you know what I mean? They're making excuses for it. Oh, because your dad's fiery, you're fiery. No, babe, that's not the way you talk to people. It really isn't. And I do think her logic is flawed with the whole Leanne did it, so I should too. That's a flawed logic. That doesn't make you look good. That's not great behavior. Then you're hurting somebody else. Like, come on, man, that's not right. Do you know what I mean? So I thought that was, it's not logical. So yeah, she said, yeah, that was it. She said her body was physically shutting down and everything like that. She wasn't okay and everything like that too. So she's still seeing Harrison. They're still together. He supported her through the hate and everything. I was just like, yeah, he probably knows what it's like to what he did to Lauren. Has anyone seen Lauren's account? Every now and again she pops up. Yeah, Lauren, man, Lauren gives me jokes. She's honestly trying to stay relevant. She said their relationship, she's not official yet with him, but they're definitely still going strong and everything. And she did say like her message to the public is that it's reality TV, it's entertainment. She said situations are often recreated or pushed for drama and that sort of thing. And she did apologize if she triggered viewers, but she said she won't apologize for her personality. Like, you not being able to control your temper shouldn't be a personality trait. That shouldn't be a personality trait. No, not at all. You know, she needs to work on that still. But she said, like, you know, people saying I need to get therapy, but I've done that already. Maybe it needs to be ongoing. Maybe you need to go again. Maybe you need a different therapist. Maybe you need a different type of therapy. You know, I don't think anyone's beyond. Ultimately, I don't think anyone's beyond help. But if she's willing, she has to be willing to be able to do that kind of work. She really does. Yeah. So that was that. I can't lie. That was kind of that in a nutshell, I think. Yeah, I'm trying to think what other key things she mentioned. Let me just get some comments. Maybe it'll trigger some of those bits for me. Let me scroll up a little bit. So did producers tell her to drink Scott's mouth wine? Keisha said. Keisha, I'm probably guessing they didn't. That's what she wanted, Scott. That's what she wanted him. So the thing is, they didn't go into, you know what, there was a lot of things missing here, because I would have liked to know, like, okay, the whole Scott situation, but before Scott there was Charlie. What was that about? What was that giving kind of thing? Why did you pick Sean over Shaq? I want to know that. I want to know, like, what's it called? Like, even with Harrison, like, anyway, I don't even care about Harrison that much, to be fair. But yeah, there was other questions that needed to be asked. Belle's call from home explains why she is the way she is. She was raised not to be accountable. KW, yeah, absolutely. Comey says the timeline doesn't make sense because she was popular before her and Scott were a possibility. I do. Okay, yeah, to be fair, I'm not super. Let me not quote the timeline. I don't know. KW said, but Lucinda only stalked Belle after Belle came for her. I don't know, KW, if that makes it right Oh, okay. I don't know. I think it's still provoking behavior. I do think it's still provoking behavior, but to go to like it's reactive abuse is insane. That's a massive claim. But I think from Belle's point of view, what she's probably thinking is like, you sat there and called me a bully, so here's my get back. She's trying to get her lip back on Lucinda. I don't think it's gonna stick. I really don't. I don't think it's gonna stick at all. Comey says Belle could have self-eliminated because things were not at all right. Sorry, Belle could have self-eliminated because things were not at all the right environment for someone with her mental fragility. Absolutely. This is the thing. This is again, these kind of things don't really wash well where you're just like, and also as well, the interview, let me just talk about the interview itself. It was definitely soft. It was a soft interview in her, but I do feel like because she was framing it around the self-harm, that's why it was so soft on her. I think it was there. And I do think obviously it's a very serious thing and people have lifelong struggles with that type of thing for sure. Do you know what I mean? And this type of, you know, this type of environment, this social media world is not healthy for someone who has those kind of issues for sure. Yeah, death threats is crazy. It really is. Yeah, crazy that people are encouraging her to end her life. Yeah, Keisha, it's awful. Like, for what? Like, come on. Homie says parasocials are ruining reality TV with their weirdo behavior. I remember even Leanne was physically attacked after a season. It was insane. Was she? That's insane. Oh my God, that's awful. That is absolutely awful. I think for what? Why? It's not even logical. It's not even logical. And you know what I was thinking? Because watching all this, I was just like, oh my God. Because, you know, some people are complaining, like, the new season of Love Island is two months away. Like, what are people doing? Like, why are you still talking about this? Because it's only 2 months away. And I was just like, you know what? Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I love Love Island, you know? But I think the fans are going to ruin it. I think they're going to ruin it. I'm already thinking that now because these parasocial relationships, and I don't know why it's got so bad. It really feels like it's just ultimately just spiked, where people are just coming up with such insane theories and just living it as like it's truth, like it's gospel. Like, no, it isn't. It's just your opinion. Like, it's just my opinion, you know, and no one has to disagree, agree. No one has to agree with me at all, you know. But and seeking out, I think it's like the actively seeking out something that has nothing to do with this just to spew hate. That's wild to me. To DM someone hate is wild to me. That is like, also as well, it's just like, I'm never gonna search, like, say if I like Helena, for example, or Sean, who I don't like their characters, how they've come across in the show. I'm not following them. I'm not going on. I'm not seeking out content for them. In fact, when I see content creep onto my timeline, I will click, I'm not interested. Do you know what I mean? But I'm not engaged. Like, why would you do, like, it's weird. It's such weird behavior. Anyway. Maya says parasocial relationships are messing with people's minds for real. They really are. Gilda says all around Millie gave grace only for Scammy to scam her out of her back. Millie's doing absolutely fine. Dammy says cognitive dissonance is what Belle is currently experiencing, probably. Not gonna lie. Maya said I was entertained. I gave her that. I mean, it was messy TV. It was messy TV. And it probably was the best All-Stars. It probably was the best All-Stars. but I still want to be, maybe I want things to be tied in a bow, right? Do you know what I mean? There were days when, you know, people would have arguments and they'll sit down and talk it out, and then, you know, what's it called? And then they'll make up. Like, I like that. It's a TV show. We've got to have that. We have to. The KW says she talks about being triggered while going in there and triggering everybody who's ever been bullied. Yep. I can't lie. Yep. Keisha said, by the way, I saw recently that Ty and Angel from the last series. Remember them? Oh yeah. Yeah. Are still together. Are they? Oh, bless them. That's good. They don't get no love. Like in terms of like them two, but they kind of coupled up really late. You know, it's rumored that Lauren slept with Ty before she went into Love Island. So when they were in holding, apparently they slept together. Apparently, over doing a thing. So her obsession with Harrison was just like so confusing to me. If that is true, Mary said, "Is reality TV and its producers this and that when it comes to her?" But she is still trying to expose other people. I just think that she was just vengeful. She was just so vengeful coming out of that villa. She was also always going to do that. Always. I think she could have, if Belle said, you know what, I kicked off and I need to work on it. And I actually really, really need to work on it. And actually, I was triggered by Lucinda because it really hurt me that Sean, you know, jumped ship straight away. So I was triggered by her and she wouldn't leave me alone. And I'm really sorry how I've come across. And that is really, because she was talking about she works with young girls. Like, that is a really bad example to set to young girls. Like, I'd be like, okay, Belle, okay, it's a start, you know, it's a start. But she ain't saying none of that. She ain't saying none of that, man. Danny says, hey, Sade, I don't watch this show, but just stop in to like and support. You look great. Love the hair. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thank you. And guys, just remember, like the video, please. Like, subscribe if you're not already subscribed so you never miss a video. And also, guys, you see my little clips? Because I'm trying to clip this up as well. I'm doing more. I'm putting in hours. I'm doing a little bit more. So if you interact with the clips or like my vlog as well, hype those as well. Apparently you can't hype the lives, but if you could for the videos, that would be amazing. That would be amazing. KW said TV license companies should require psych evaluations before letting people watch TV at this point. I mean, for real. He should say, question, do people believe that Lucinda was fully really unaware of behavior and that's just how she is, or that she's being rage baity intentionally? Okay, so do people believe that Lucinda was really unaware of behavior and that's just how she is and that she was rage baiting intentionally? I think, yeah, I can't lie. I think Lucinda knows exactly what she's doing. I do. I think she really does know what she's doing. I just wouldn't put it past her at all. And I think she knows how to play innocent. I think she knows how to work not just guys. I think she knows how to work everybody around her. I really do. And she's smarter than she likes to come across. She is. I do think what's that girl, Jessie, what Jessie said wasn't exact. It wasn't fully untrue. Like, she had points. She definitely had points, but it was so far out of nowhere that it was just what were you coming with? Like, it seemed unprovoked. She was angry at her unprovoked. She seemed like she was fighting someone else's battle. He just said, I remember Lucinda being very sneaky in Love Island games. You know what? Yeah. Lucinda in Love Island games. And I think, I can't even remember. I remember I couldn't cover the whole of Love Island Games. I think I was getting busy at that point in time. But I remember thinking, for sure, if I didn't say it, I remember thinking, this girl has trained for this, and she's going in there pretending she's just being lucky, you know, but she absolutely trained for Love Island Games, for real. So they would underestimate her. She's playing a massive game, mate. She really is. Comey said, Lucinda and Scott openly admitted to doing things for the plot on a few occasions. Unfortunately, they were playing with people's genuine emotions. I agree with that statement. I think that is well and truly possible. KW said Lucinda definitely puts it on, but I don't mind it. I mean, it gives us good TV. It really did. It's probably the editing. Maya says also Jessie told us the tea. She did. She tried. But we didn't want to hear from Jessie. We didn't want to hear from her. So yeah, I mean, like, I would say this is a quick watch in terms of what's it called? In terms of like the Belle conversation. It is a pretty quick watch, but you just have to be, are you interested in being, I'm going to say slightly gaslit in this situation, because she's not taking any accountability. She's going on like kind of button wouldn't melt, really. I think she's going on button wouldn't melt. Honestly, and it's just a bit weird. It's a bit weird. Hold on one second. Let me just do this. Guys, so sorry, Dami, when Jessie came into the villa, she kind of confronted, out of nowhere, it seemed out of nowhere, confronted Lucinda and said that she was rage baiting on purpose, that she puts on this baby voice and that she's pretending to be dumber than she is and everything. And yeah, it backfired on Jessie, because people were just like, Jessie, first of all, who asked you? Who freaking asked you? Who asked you? And I don't know. I think, yeah. What's it called? What am I doing? Sorry, I'm trying to do two things at one time. Is this working now? Yes. It backfired. Oh, that tea, but nothing new. To be fair, I didn't watch Jessie's podcast. I didn't watch it because I didn't want to be annoyed. So I didn't watch it. See, again, this is what I'm saying. People, you don't have to watch these things either. Do you know what I mean? If someone pisses you off and you don't like them, you don't have to watch it. You can just scroll away, close the app, do something else, go outside, touch grass. You can absolutely do a multitude of different things. So, Mary saying, but didn't Belle admit they knew about Scott's game? They all know the game. They all know the public is part of the game. So I don't think anyone is truly an innocent victim. Yeah, I feel you. I feel you on that. Defo. Tammy said this season needed a reunion because all the post-thriller drama needed a live audience and a mediator. That's the best way to tell who's lying. Yeah, 100%. I think I would have loved a reunion. That would be great. That would absolutely be great. Keisha said, I watched Scott and Leanne's Wells vlog. Apart from being physically attracted to each other, I don't see much chemistry between them compared to the other couples. Oh, really? Mate. Well, we'll see. I'm you know what, to be fair, like I think I wanted better for Leanne, but like if she's happy, then I'm happy for her. Do you know what I mean? But I think Scott irks me too much to be fully involved in that. Right. So now on to Jen Shah. So if you don't know, Jen Shah was on the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, and she she got arrested a couple of years ago and went to prison, and she has just done an interview with People magazine, and this is her first interview since she's come out of prison. So she went for, oh my God, what was the exact, oh my God, do I have it somewhere? She was arrested in March 2021 and later pleaded guilty to conspiracy to commit wire fraud and was sentenced to prison for her role in a year-long telemarketing scheme that the government said defrauded innocent people across the country. So this was apparently she defrauded like very vulnerable people, so people who were elderly or had maybe mental health difficulties or that sort of thing. So really, really hate the most vulnerable people in society. This she was committed of defrauding, which is insane, absolutely insane. So she does, in this interview, she does take accountability. She does say that she was wrong and she takes full responsibility to her part in this. She said that she ignored major red flags in her business and she didn't really fully understand the harm at first, but realized the impact of it after seeing evidence before the trial. But she did deny intentionally targeting the elderly, and she said that she was never in direct contact with the victims or anything like that. And she said that the elderly narrative was tied to legal wording that increased her sentence, but she does acknowledge that the harm was caused, and she does express remorse as well. To be fair, so she was also ordered to pay $6.6 million in restitution. And she said that she's committed to repaying the victims and she's focused on accountability and moving forward. And she said she does accept that some of the victims may never forgive her for what she's done. So yeah, I mean, like, I didn't know, maybe that's an American thing, or maybe I'm just not aware, but I didn't know, like, if you commit like a fraud thing that you have to pay restitution. I didn't know that, but that's interesting and makes sense as well. And I guess like her doing this interview is maybe step one in trying to position herself, because I don't think she's going back on Bravo. I don't think that's happening. So she needs to create some sort of profile or hold on to a bit of profile for her to make money in some sort of way to make sure she can pay back this debt that she has, you know. She did talk about like some of her personal struggles. She said these are not excuses, but just gives a bit of context that she was dealing with, trigger warning, depression, grief, loss of her father, some marital issues as well. And she said that these things contributed to her poor decision making. She said she did emphasize that these are not excuses for her actions. She served nearly 3 years before her being released, and she said that it was emotionally difficult but very eye-opening in terms of like prison. Although I can't lie, when she started talking about the prison aspect of it, she did seem to be becoming a little bit giddy, which didn't sit well with me at all, because I'm just like, why are you excited? Like, this is not, I don't know. It's just like, she just seemed like excited. I wouldn't be surprised if she does some sort of reality show, maybe on Zeus or something, I don't know, or she puts out a book or something like that about her experiences there. But yeah, she said it was emotionally difficult and eye-opening. She said she did a lot of self-reflection, personal growth, and she's becoming a better person, and she's living with humility as well. She's has an ankle monitor at the moment. She was released in December last year, and she has an ankle monitor. I don't even know how long for, but right now her priorities are her family, rebuilding her life, and staying accountable. And she wants people to see her more than just a headline, and she does acknowledge the seriousness of her actions, and she wants to shift the narrative towards growth and responsibility and stuff. When she was talking about prison, she talked about like the different duties that she would do, that she was in something called rec. I think that's like the gym, that's maybe where she worked. And her work in there, she actually got a she saw Ghislaine Maxwell apparently, which I thought was very interesting. And she said that Ghislaine is treated very differently to everybody else in there. There was also another woman that she mentioned. So let me just fix that. There was also another woman that she mentioned. Oh, I can't remember her name. But she had the company where what did they do? She falsified her results with this thing, a blood testing mechanism that she had people invest money into her company. Oh my God, what is the name of it? I can't remember. Come back to me. But yeah, so she's quite high profile anyway. There was a whole documentary on her, a whole series on her, I think on Disney or Hulu or one of them as well. So them two found solace within each other. But she met Ghislaine Maxwell and she got quite serious then, and she was saying how that Ghislaine was not giving over, like she had any remorse for any of the victims or anything like that. She made it clear that she was not remorseful, so she kind of kept away from her. She talked about some of the duties that she had to do, like they would be on something called poop duty, where they would have to sit in the bathrooms like for maybe the entire day, and it would have to be like spick and span. So if anyone went bathroom, they would have to clean it. If the person didn't clean it up themselves, then they would have to clean it up, and they have to do that there. And like she was talking about how all the different smells and everything like that. See, prison, yeah, that is the worst. Like that would be the worst possible thing. I just can't. Oh God. She said she got a lot of unwanted attention in prison as well, just because of who she is. And I guess what she done and everything like that. And yeah, I feel like I was left feeling, I don't know if this is a front, because for me, yeah, anyone that watched Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, you know that this woman, well, oh my God, oh no, the brain fog is on 110% today. And it needs to turn itself down. Like, what the hell? What is her name? Oh my God, I'm gonna have to look up the cast. She punched one of her cast members in the eye, and she gave her a black eye, allegedly. And she's come out of prison and she's just like, oh yeah, you know, I just worked for myself. I got my PT degree. I've got like her nutrition degree, and I was bringing women together and everything like that. And all I can remember, Heather, that's it. All I can remember is her sitting next to Heather. Heather's got a black eye, and people asking, how did this happen? And Heather saying, I don't know. And Jen is sitting next to her and just saying nothing. Jen even was joking about it. I was just like, this is wild. She's a wild woman. So no, if she could punch her friend in the eye and act like she didn't do that stuff, I don't know if I believe any of this. I really don't know. Maya said they might take her back. She would have a great storyline. They took back the one from the NJ franchise, so everything is possible. NJ, New Jersey. Oh, okay, cool. But isn't it because of who she defrauded, like the elderly and vulnerable people, why it would be a no? I mean, she was messy TV, you know. So maybe it is very, very possible they could take her back. But yeah, I was just like, I don't know. I really don't know if Jen is a right fit. Like, do you know what I mean? I need to see more over time. Now she's out. Let's see some consistency over time and see if her character has absolutely changed or not. She did talk about that she had a problem with alcohol as well, and she's worked on that. So yeah, that was Jenny. I mean, again, that was light and, well, it was easy watch. If you want to watch that's on the People magazine website and YouTube as well, kind of thing. So if you're into that, then that's there. But yeah, that was, I don't know. I feel like Jen may still be a villain in my opinion. Still. Okay, guys, now to the section in other news. The only other news that I can think of mentioning at the moment, I think someone mentioned it already, is that Sammy and Ty. So Sammy and Ty are apparently where's my I had a whole picture. Where is it? They are on holiday at the moment. Oh my god, it's gone. I've lost it. In Morocco. They're on holiday in Morocco at the moment. Looks like it's a freaking hard launch, mate. That's what it looks like. But I think it's probably too early. They're probably just dating in some sort of way. But they have a picture of them on a jet ski together. So yeah, I think Sammy's, 25k richer and not looking back. Do you know what I mean? Seriously. Ty said he was gonna go for it, and he did. I don't know what it is, yeah, but right now I can't hate Ty. You know who's won me over? Ty and Yemen have absolutely won me over. I don't even know what's going on with me because I don't even stand guys like that at all. But yeah, Ty, I just think he's freaking hilarious. I think he's and Yemen. I did have it. See, I didn't even play all my clips. Sorry, guys. I'm talking for ages. Where was it? Yemen's clip. Where is it? Oh, of him supporting. Yeah, I'm going back to Whitney. The Yemen's clip of him supporting Whitney. I just thought this was just beautiful. This was so cute. I just thought this was cute. And there was another one that he done as well. Hold on, let me play this.
Been seeing all of the hate and negative comments that Whitney's getting right now. And I've also seen a lot of love as well, right? I see a lot of y'all showing a lot of love to the both of us. And I see a lot of hate too. But you guys, when her and I are out and about, y'all, there is so much love in the street. You guys, people are coming up to us all the time, saying how much they love us, taking photos, whatever the case may be, right? But I want this to be an example to everybody that's watching, listening, Love Island fans, or just people on social media, right? Understand, y'all, that social media is not a real place sometimes, right? So what's real and what happens on social media sometimes are not synonymous, right? So you could be feeling some type of way because something you see online, but out in the real world, it's not the same. So you guys never get too caught up in social media. Everything will always be okay. Sometimes just come outside, touch some grass, all right? All right, y'all. So I have been seeing.
I was just trying to look where they are. I think they're back at Buckingham Palace, actually. That looks like it in the background. Which means it was down the road from me. So annoying. Okay. Keisha said, I think Ty's face gets him out of trouble. It's the cheeky spot. It might be, honestly, it might be because at the moment he's kind of doing no wrong right now. Okay, guys, now into the section like what are we watching at the moment? What else are you watching? Next time I see him asking for next time I see them asking for my picture. Please take a picture. Please do it, Maya. Share it in the Discord. What are you guys watching at the moment? What else are you watching right now? I can't lie, for me, I watched the finale of Paradise this week. Who else is watching Paradise? What did you think of the finale? Were you feeling it? What are you giving it out of 10? I really like that show. I thought it was a very solid season 2. I really thought it was good. If you're not watching Paradise, please, 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 please watch Paradise. Please do that. Also, I'm still watching Invincible, which is great. I know a lot of you are not into that. There's a few things coming up as well. So Unwell Productions. So Unwell is the company owned by Alex. Can't remember her surname now. What is her name? I can't remember. But anyway, owned by Alex, who does call her Daddy. She has a production company called Unwell, and they are doing a couple of reality TV shows. And one of them is called Winter Games. Winter Games. I think it's Winter Games. That's what it's called. And it's coming out on the 6th of April. So very, very soon. When's that? Next week? Was that next week, Monday? 6th of April. Yeah, it's got some interesting people in it. Well, I was just like, really? How did you get them? Oh my God. So on the cast, oh, sorry, it's going to be on YouTube, by the way, as well. So everybody can watch it. So yeah. So on the cast, they have, let's go through some of them. Some of them I know, some of them I don't know. If you know them, Alex Cooper, thank you. Dammy, appreciate you. Let me know if you know them. Number 1, they put on it. Imagine she's number 1. It's insane. Huda is in this. Huda from Love Island season 7, US Love Island season 7 is on this. Problematic. I think they are definitely, if they're going for let me get attention, that's what they're absolutely going for. And again, it's just rewarding bad behavior because she is in a whole lot of mess at the moment. Her I think the court date is coming up soon. So she's a temporary restraining order against her was granted because allegedly she went to her boyfriend's baby mother apartment and was doing some threatening behavior. So allegedly, yeah, that happened, and we're going to see the court date. So let's see. So Huda is in this, which is insane. Then we've got, this is her boyfriend, her current boyfriend at the moment, Louis Russell, who's actually from the UK. He was in Perfect Match, maybe? He's in it. Very problematic guy. I think he's done a bunch of stuff. Very, very, very problematic guy, but he's with Huda. He was her boyfriend. This is the guy that was with Huda when they had they were doing a live and someone called Olangia the N-word and they giggled. This guy. This is who he is. Demi from The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. Demi has been problematic in that show. I haven't finished watching season 4, you know. There was so much drama, I just didn't even get round to it because the real life drama was a lot. But she kind of falsely accused someone of sexual. I don't know if she was false or not. I actually don't know. But she's a bit of a known for lying and over exaggerating, unfortunately, and just being generally problematic. However, she might get her redemption arc because some of the people that she was against are crumbling. So there's that. So Demi, Hannah Stockton, I don't know who she is. I don't know where she comes from. Maybe you guys know. If someone knows, let me know in the chat. But she's in it. Who else? We've got Dakota. Dakota is also in The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. He is the baby daddy of the girl who is at the center of all the drama at the moment. He's Taylor. He was booked to be on The Bachelorette, but because a video or incident happened recently where I don't know if she was arrested, but incident happened, maybe a DV incident, but there was also a DV incident with him. A video circulated recently where she was throwing bar stools across the room at him, and maybe some of it ricocheted and hit one of her children, apparently, allegedly. So he's bad news because he winds her up. And allegedly, I heard that they are now back together. I hope I'm wrong. But he's a whole heap of mess. He really is. So he's in it. Haley Batcherdeld? I don't even know. So it's Demons Festival. Essentially, basically, I don't know this lady. I don't know where she's from. Let me know. Alyssa Violet, again, not sure who she is. Gleb. Oh, Gleb. Sorry, I shouldn't laugh. Gleb Savchenko. Not sure. Serena Pitt, not sure. Joe Adebayo, not sure. So watching this, this is the first time I'm gonna meet a lot of these people. Cameron Jezard, not sure. Eva Anna Delvey. What? Wait, what? Oh my god, I had no idea. Seriously, this scammer. Anna Delvey. What was the show named? Oh my god. She's a big time scammer. She's got a series or a film made about her on Netflix. Oh my god, I need to look up real quick. What was the name of it? Or if someone knows in the chat, please let me know. Delvey. Con artist. Imagine that's what it came up as. Con artist. Straight away. She's a con artist, she's a fraudster. She posed as a wealthy heiress to access upper upper class New York social and art scene in 2013 to 2017. And yeah, she's a liar. She's a big time liar, man. Inventing Anna. Oh my god, that's what it's called on Netflix. If you want to know, oh my god, no way. Sorry, I'm just learning new things today. I'm 80 years old. Inventing Anna, it says, is a 2022 Netflix limited drama series created by Shonda Rhimes. I had no idea it was Shonda Rhimes. Basically, yeah, it's based on her life story. Wow. Okay, Unwell. They are going for drama. Oh my god, I never knew that. Egal Booker. Now he looked familiar, but I don't know where from. And I can't be able to look it up. Dylan Kavich. Don't know. Ekin Sue. Oh, not Ekin. Ekin Sue's back. Okay, guys. Well, there's a Love Island connection. Okay, well, UK one anyway. Okay, Ekin. The show was to pay off her victims. Oh god. Juliet Porter. Okay, I'm not sure. Soraya Bevis. I like the name Soraya. Nico Emanuelidis. Don't know. Angel Veta. Didn't we see a Veta? I don't know. Okay, cool. I don't know the rest of them. I don't know a lot of these people. But it's on YouTube. So I can't lie. I might watch it. But that's insane. Okay, and then also what also is out is, well, soon. So that, sorry, Unwell comes out on the 6th of April. On that one, it's a big cast. I wonder how this is going to go down. I have no idea. But obviously, Call Her Daddy, Alex Cooper, I think she knows how to make a show. I think so. And there's another show that she's doing at the moment called Love Overboard or something, which I haven't watched, but I've seen a couple clips. Those people are a bit unhinged as well. EL was on Love Island's US, I guess. Yeah, season 4. Okay, cool. Okay, the other thing that's coming soon is Love Island Beyond the Villa, which has got all these people. Let me see if I can remember their names. So Maya, Hannah? Is that Hannah? Oh, I know who she is, but I can't remember her name. Tyler. Damn. Brian, Chris, Jeremiah, Pepe? I can't remember. Who's that? I can't remember these two. I can't remember her name either. I can't remember her name. Not Coco. What's her name? I can't remember. But anyway, it's a big chunk of the cast, but we don't have the heavy hitters. We do have the winner, obviously, Amaya. Jeremiah. I'll watch this for Jeremiah. I'm still justice for Jeremiah. I can't lie. What is wrong with me? What is happening? This is another guy. But I do follow Jeremiah. I do. And he has a book club and everything, and I really like it. I think it's cool. So there's that. So I can't wait for that to happen. And the other thing that I'm watching at the moment is Beauty in the Black. So Abis put me. So I think I started watching this last year or something. I watched season 1, and then I stopped watching it. And Abis was watching it, and she was just like, "You have to." So I started watching it again, and I'm now on season 2, episode 10. Like I've literally just, oh my god, watched it. It was a lot. It's a lot. It's not finished yet. I think there's 6 more episodes. I think. That the writing is insane. It's insane. It really is. Yeah, but it's so addictive, and it's just such an easy watch. You can just have it on in the background, and every couple of minutes something crazy dramatic is happening. There's just so much drama in one episode. Yeah, I don't know. It's a madness. It's actually a madness, but it's easy. It's an easy watch. What's everybody else watching? I saw someone said they're watching Age of Attraction. Okay, I see. I didn't get around to watching it. I don't think I'm gonna go back. If there's a season 2, I might watch that one instead. Maya saying I need to catch up on Paradise. Did I finish in Keisha say, did you finish Inside? The reunion was so pointless. Yeah, I did watch Inside. I can't lie. I think obviously it's skewed to a young audience. Oh my God. And I knew it about friggin' Eddie. I knew it. I knew there was something off with that man. I knew it. Seriously. I can't lie. With Inside, I couldn't stand Alhan. I didn't really like Eddie. Who else did I like? A couple of them. I just, nah. It's and also as well, you know, because I don't watch I'm a Celebrity because it's too cringy, like the disgusting things they make them do, and there's a lot of that disgusting stuff in it, so it was just a bit cringe and a bit awkward for me. So I will have to see who's in the cast next time to watch it. However, I will say, because they do it in a week, it's a week and it's done. It was a quick watch, so that was a plus sign. And then we got to see, you know, how Marlon and India met, you know? So there was that. That was kind of cute. They had minute little cute moments. So Eddie, yes, exactly. So Keisha, imagine Eddie, you know, he was like the world's strongest man and stuff. He used to do press where he said, yeah, I know I'm a racist. There's articles on him. He was an out and out racist. He'll probably say he's not a racist now, but he used to go and fight. He was talking about fighting Asian people at the time, but he says he was racist. And I was just like, there's something off about this man, because you are literally gunning for this girl and she ain't done nothing to you. So what the hell is going on? Like, it's not making any sense. It's not making any sense at all. But he went for India. He didn't like expressions off the bat as well. Like, he now looking at it, it's just like, oh, so you inherently think she's a liar. That's what it was given. So yeah, didn't like him at all. I just didn't like, and how he like, he kind of was going on like butter wouldn't melt out of the other girls, but for some reason India came across that really bad, and I was just like, I don't think it's that deep. I don't think India done anything that was that deep. Yeah, exactly. So Keisha said, my spirit never took to that big for nothing man. Exactly. Me neither. I don't like you, man. I really don't like you. But yeah, there's articles and everything. Some people on TikTok done a deep dive. I knew it. And the thing is, I just knew, maybe I read the article. I knew that before. I just didn't put two and two together at the time, you know? So yeah. It was a lot. But yeah, so that's what I'm watching at the moment. I think there's bare other things. I think Euphoria is coming back soon as well. So I definitely want to watch that. I need to watch a recap though. But I know that's going to be a mess and a half. And then in terms of what I'm reading, because you guys know that I go to my cousin's book club, which is called Lit Like Us. Lit Like Us on Instagram, if you want to check it out. And we are currently reading Yellowface. Oh, what's the name of the author again? Which I listened to because I listened to the books, and I finished it already. I finished it in a week or less. It is by R.F. Kung, I think. And I finished it already. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and now I need to unpack why. I enjoyed it in the sense of, like, I found it entertaining. However, the storyline itself, oh my God, it was frustrating me. I obviously did not like the character. Wow. But I think there's just layers to it. I won't spoil it for anybody who haven't read it. But if you are into reading or listen to audiobooks, that's what we're listening to at the moment, or reading at the moment. It's so good. Keisha said, Yellowface is such a patient. Honestly, it's so good. It's really, really good. I want to see more from this author. And the next thing, so then what I'm listening to at the moment, or reading at the moment, is, let me go to my Spotify so I can get that right, is A Court of Mist and Fury, which is the second book in after A Court of Thorns and Roses or something, by Sarah J. Maas, which is all about fairies and demons. But I love it. I love it. So I'm reading that at the moment. And then the next thing after that is going to be Brandy's book. Oh my God, we just spoke about it. Brandy's book. It's called Phases. That's what it's called. So it's a memoir from her. So that's going to be my next book on the list. So yeah. Okay, guys, I feel like, oh my God. Over 3 hours. That was a long show. Oh my gosh, guys. Thank you so much for staying with me. Appreciate you. You know, I appreciate the ones that stay to the end the most. My God, thank you. If you haven't done so already, please like the video. If you're not subscribed, subscribe to the channel. Replay Gang, leave all your comments below. I know people are gonna come at me at India. For Whitney, I know. It's okay. I'm ready. Like Jon Snow at the Battle of the Bastards. I'll be there with my sword fighting. But yeah, I'll be back next week, Friday. And it's my birthday next week. So I'll be back then. I hope you have a fantastic bank holiday weekend. Guys, if you watch TDA, I'm going to be there on Monday. And we have a very special guest on Monday. Fingers crossed it all goes well. Thank you so much for joining me as always. And all the links are in the description box as well. So yeah, have a good one, guys. See you in the next one. Bye, 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 bye.